Okay. Um, no high-pitched voice this week, and I'm raring to go. I have some fantastic stuff in front of me. A lot of you recognized the amazing stuff we showed last week. Uh, let's get going straight away on the comments. We do have a trivia winner. And so we didn't do a what am I last week. We just did 3 questions. I'm trying to put together another what am I. I don't think I'll have it together for today's show, but maybe for next week's, because I mean, you guys are getting good. So I have to get challenging, but still keep it winnable, for those of you out there. Okay. So, let's get going. Okay, so the first comment is from Miss Karen in Texas. So remember, to refresh everyone's memory, Miss Karen in Texas is the one that had the picture of the what am I challenging me. So it looked like a bucket of chicken eye. And so anyway, her first comment actually goes back to the what am I from last week, just getting in a afterthought, but it was too late to change her answer, which you can do up until the point of the show. So she says, "Ding dong, ding dong." Okay, I think I just figured out what am I. Number 2 is actually arsenopyrite, as shown in the 11-11-24 shown item, the El Tahoe mine in Chihuahua, Mexico. Chihuahua, Mexico. And that, you know what, Miss Karen, that is why they're not guesses, because that answer is an excellent, well thought out answer to what turned out to be a goethite after pyrite. In other words, a pseudomorph. Arsenopyrite looks very, due to the tarnish that it can develop. So arsenopyrite is pyrite with, arsenic in it as part of the makeup. And so it looks a particular color and has a similar look. So, that's why all your answers are not guesses. Because they're answers using the most available information that you have stored in and in regards to the item you're viewing at the time. So that's an answer. Whether it's right, wrong, close, whatever, it's not a guess. So I'm kind of funny like that, because guesses is something we did when we had multiple guess tests in grammar school and high school. Some of those were guesses because you have a choice of 4. So you're not using exactly the way you would normally answer it. You're using someone else's word. So it ends up, that's a guess. But I'm not giving you multiple guess. I'm giving you ones I want to hear answers for, to the best of your ability. Miss Barbara in Brooklyn next. She says, "Hi, Professor Shawn, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. It's so cool to hear somebody mention the huge mid-continent New Madrid fault earthquake. In 1812, it caused parts of the Mississippi to temporarily run backwards. Sand blows all around are evidence that it happened. A true mega event far away from any plate boundary that hardly anyone has heard of." And the U.S. Geological Survey gives it a 25 to 40% chance that there will be an earthquake of a magnitude between 7 and 8 on the Richter scale within the next 50 years along the New Madrid fault line, which extends across 5 states roughly. You have Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois, Tennessee, and is it parts of Arkansas? So, yeah, I got that right. There are little other fault lines off of the main one. The main New Madrid fault line roughly follows the Mississippi, and what it has done, it uplifted a portion of land, which is the Reelfoot, and created actually Reelfoot Lake. It's evidenced over in that area. And by what she mentions by sand blows, what happened in 1811, 1812, the earth shook. And if you've ever dug holes at the edge of the water at the beach. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So you can dig a hole, or have sand that looks solid or sturdy. Let's say even in a bucket. But there's going to be a water content in that sand, and if you shake that bucket like at a microwave or like an ultrasonic level, that the level that earthquakes put out. The earthquakes put out massive shaking all the way to just minor tremors. And what that will do, and you can practice, even do this at home, at the right level of water content, the sand will, it's called liquefaction or liquefaction, and you vibrate it, and the water will rise, and the sand will come to the surface. It's almost like panning a pan of dirt. Heavy stuff will move to the bottom, and the sand rises to the surface. Also, along with water, any trapped gases. So you had these, the earthquake's so powerful, you had these uplifting, upwelling of sand coming up from beneath areas in the earth, liquefaction from the shaking, leaving these unusual deposits of sand in the middle of farmers' fields extending across 5 states. And still visible from the air. They're still there, 200 years later. Quite remarkable to think that there's a fault line in the middle of the country. Normally we associate it with mountains, right? Or, the Himalayas. It is the Indian, subcontinent going underneath the Asian plate, pushing up Mount Everest a lot, like, I don't know, 2 inches a year or whatever. If it's that much, that would be a lot in the geological terms. It's still happening, and that's why they have earthquakes in Nepal all the time, and massive ones, because it's it's subduction. Okay, so there's different types of things. So anyway, the New Madrid fault, it's still going on. It is still an active fault line. They have, you can track, get the app and track the earthquakes across the country, and you can see that even now, the number of ones and twos are happening there in that area all the time, as far as on the Richter scale. So those you don't feel. When the earthquake happened in 1812, it was felt as far away this is from the St. Louis area, mind you, as far away as Charleston, South Carolina, on the eastern side, southern, all the way to New Orleans. So, of course, in that year, there's not a lot of information, but many, many cities that were along the Mississippi were turned to rubble, and it just wasn't something that they expected. It's not done. It's just pressure is building, and that's what happens. You have it's a plate that was attempting to tear the country in two, but it's still an active boundary line. So yeah, I like thinking about those type of things. And the thing that worries me, that St. Louis, I'm sure, didn't build anything to earthquake codes like California. I can't imagine that the gateway to the West Arch would survive a 7 to 8 earthquake. I just wonder. I don't even know if it's even open now. I know they had problems with it already. Sometimes things aren't built to last forever, and Mother Nature can tend to take them back real quickly. So, yep, it is a quite disturbing to think, when you're in somewhere as flat as the plains, and of course the Mississippi River is the lowest point of elevation across the entire thing, and it occurred enough to make the Mississippi River flow backwards for a time. So, if I was living in that area, I would think about it. I mean, to happen within someone's lifetime, and expected that high of a expected type of earthquake. Wow. The other thing is that I watch is that little asteroid that's been beaming around, that they gave up to 3% chance that in 2032 or something, that it would hit the Earth. To me, it was actually 3.1%. That's huge. That's a huge chance. That's like get out. That's like the movies, get out the rockets and blast the thing. But as they said, most likely when they always track the telemetry and of these things, the chances come to zero. And it did. Chances came down to zero. But chances went up of it hitting the moon. I just wonder if something like that big, but they said even that the size of it, which was like a city killer size, would not shift the orbit of the moon. Okay, that's good to know that the moon's big enough to be able to take an impact like that. The moon is already full of craters, which you can see easily with binoculars. I do it all the time, and yeah, that's those dark areas of the moon, not the dark side of the moon, just those dark. One is called the Sea of Tranquility, I think, or something. Huge impact crater. So, okay, Miss Barbara, you always have interesting things to contribute. So, platinum stopped being premium jewelry metal after the 2008 and 09 financial crisis, which I paid a price for during that crisis. I had a lake house. Mm-hmm.
What if that asteroid does hit, and what is awesome? What can we get out of it?
All Oscar says, what would we get out of that asteroid if it does hit? Now, that is a capitalist. That is a man that is... Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're a capitalist. You're thinking about if that, what can we get out of it? Do you know that all the precious metal here on Earth is been brought here from asteroids, from other impacts from planetary bodies? That is how gold has gotten here. That is how platinum has gotten here. Every precious metal that we have is from impacts. The Earth was formed
from the heavens.
They are gifts from the heaven. Earth was formed from a small planetary body that over, of course, billions of years continually be impacted until it was so large. It had gravity. Once it had gravity, it began to spin. Once it spin, it became the pressures developed a molten core. Once you had that molten core, that created, especially a metallic molten core, that created the magnetic force around the Earth, and which so many things rely on, the North and South Pole and the magnetic forces. So, yeah, they talk about mining these asteroids as like it's going to be something they're going to do any day now, which I think is kind of funny. I think it is amazing though when. Was it Osiris? I forget the name of the little asteroid, that they were actually able to get a sample off of it. And this thing's going, 25,000 miles per hour faster, whatever, really fast. And they were able to, this little tiny asteroid, be able to put a probe on it to take a sample of the material. I think that kind of science that we have is amazing. Getting to Mars, I think we're a long way off. Who in the world traveled 7-8 months one way? And, we need to develop something other than the kind of dangerous propulsion we use. So, I don't know. I think the warp speed is a while away, which is traveling at the speed of light or the multiples of it, as in Star Trek. But I believe it has been achieved. And I'm just going to say it, by other races, aliens, whatever you want to call them, from other planetary bodies. And I think it's just a matter of technology. And technology is only a matter of time. Technology, though, can also doom a planet. And the Great Filter, they call it the Great Filter. They say that by the time a planet reaches and has the ability, and has the ability to leave and travel to another planetary body, by the time you have by the time you obtain and develop that technology, you have imploded your own culture by then. And so it's called the Great Filter. It's the filter that keeps one like Earth from ever expanding into the cosmos. And I tell you what, think about it. There's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. I mean, we could easily implode and do it in our own wonderful place we live on before ever able to find somewhere else to live. So, Twilight Zone kind of stuff, but if you ever watched all the Twilight Zones, amazing how Rod Serling was like the Nostradamus of his time in predicting so many social issues and problems that we have now. So, anyway, okay, we're back. Maybe if I stay real still and not talk about aliens. See, you know what? We were talking about aliens, and then that happens. Communications go down. All right, so yeah, exactly. Chuck's on camera now, so he's adding his opinion. Whoever thought we'd see platinum at only 1,000 and gold nearly 3,000? The Mounties are now more expensive than what you put in them. Crazy, very true. I now, when I think about how much gold I thought I was doing really great at selling it at $2,000 an ounce, I said, "Oh, I can't go much." Well, yeah. Several well-known Indian dealers have stated that they have deals with road building, well digging, and house construction companies. Now, this is where, you know what? Kim would say, a chicken crossed the road. That's what she says to me when I completely change the subject to something else without any segue to it. So now, just to tell you, so we're not going to talk about aliens. We're talking about the zeolites. Well, several well-known Indian dealers have stated they have deals with road building, well digging, and house construction companies to come in and excavate pockets uncovered in the basalt around Mumbai on the weekend. Mumbai, formerly Bombay, for those of you. A lot of wonderful zeolites we enjoy have been saved from destruction by this synergy. Yeah, absolutely. And the artisanal miner that comes and dig out those, it contributes greatly to the income. But some of the places became so dangerous and housing became such an issue, they built out right to the edge of these quarries, and it became they're very dangerous. So they actually closed down. And so those of you with the Mumbai specimens, and I specified which ones were, the Mumbai district, you've got something that no one else will have, unless, of course, they come across smaller pockets of them as they excavate and build out. And continue to. Congrats to Miss Gabby for another What Am I win. As to the trivia. Okay, so here are the questions to the trivia. Question number 1. What mineral shown can be described as a copper silicate? Answer, dioptase. And that was the easy one. What was the only mineral shown? What was the... I scribbled out this so many times. What was the only mineral shown and type of mine locality was it from that was discussed? So that being duftite. And the answer, the Sumed mine. I'm glad y'all got and understood that question better than I did. Number 3, name a pseudomorph and what it replaced shown. Name a pseudomorph that was shown and what it replaced. And the locality. So I showed a malachite that replaced azurite. It's really never the other way around. Azurite doesn't eat and swallow malachite. Malachite swallows the azurite and replaces it. And from Morocco. And I think someone bought it. I was saying maybe Miss Barbara, but she didn't say if she did. So let me know, Miss Barbara, because that means you're adding to your pseudomorph collection. But if you missed it and want another one, I have another one I'll offer you and can set it aside for you, Miss Barbara. Let me know. Okay, Miss, let's see. So those were the questions. So Miss Barbara answers, dioptase, stuff type from Sumed, malachite after azurite from Morocco. Well done. It's been gorgeous for my birthday week. Sunny and warm to help melt the last of the early month ice. Can't complain. Well, happy birthday to you there, Miss Barbara. So that means you're a February girl. That means you're an amethyst girl. I hope you have some amethyst collected. Miss Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. Hello, Rock family. Wonderful show, Professor Shawn. Miss Gabby, I did the exact same with my amethyst briolets I got last year from Shawn. I made earrings out of the 2 smaller gems and a necklace out of the remaining 3. I remember those that you got. I remember yours. I remember the piece of jewelry I got them from, just as I got those 3 rubellite briolets. You remember those, Chuck, last week? Miss Gabby got them. She got all three of the set, which I really wanted them to be as a set. So I'm glad that they ended up selling that way. And yeah, so Miss Cindy says, you really scored on those Rubelite briolets. Beautiful, she writes. Trivia, Dapte, stuff type original locality is the Sumid mine, Carlet type locality. Malachite after azurite from the Karachi region of Morocco. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. And then she wrote me an off-air comment, which was she wrote, I can't repeat. I would if I could. And any of you, if you want to say something to me that you don't want read, just say that off-air comment. And it was just in reference to bullying that we mentioned last week and how she feels about bullies. Miss Karen in Texas. Hello, Shawn, Chuck, Asif, production crew, and all rock lovers. Hope all is well. Good job there, Miss Karen, on getting everybody. Except Latif, he comes in often. I take it with your comments, you didn't think I was playing a fair game. Now, remember, Karen is the one that had the chicken night. The bucket of chicken that she expected me to figure out what it was from what she showed me. You didn't think I was playing a fair game. He. Really? Well, you're right. I showed nothing other than clay, or as you stated, chickenite. Great description, by the way. That's the first thing that came to mind. Then I got hungry. Sorry, it was my first challenge of what am I? And true, it wasn't a fair representation of minerals, but I love that you're playing along despite my clueless clues. I love people to challenge me. I'm said that I can't be beat. Well, here, now if I go to some rock and mineral show and they pull out Krasinowskite or something like that, like, well, I know that one, but some others, no. But okay, so I wasn't able to get to the post office, so she's going to send me some of these specimens. So she's attaching a few more images of the minerals from the bucket, which she rinsed to show better. So then she goes on to say, also to clarify, the minerals are not of an inclusion type, as you questioned in last week's show. I'll finish with you on that one in a minute. Kudos to you and your excellent crew for your great visual representations. And credit, of course, goes to the cameraman, Chuck, but those visual representations, that is insisted upon now by Asif. He does not like to see my camera pictures, and I credit him and have to say that's wonderful to be willing to take the extra time. The guy, imagine how many emails he gets in a day, but to insist on that and then put it up so we can show it to you in high def and like I do for you. So instead on the phone. And so that's who the credit goes to. Because other than that, you probably get my cheesy phone, like you get my cheesy polishing sometimes with a spray. So yeah, you know me. The other thing you get is honesty. And I don't yell too often. Kudos. Yep. Trust me, it's not so easy. So I rinsed a few pieces attempting to show something other than clay. It's the first rinse, but you'll see something other than clay. Additionally, a verbal clue for one of the minerals is as follows. Now, Miss Karen, all I would have needed to see or wanted to see to make it fun for me at my level would be to have rinsed them off. And then don't tell me, because this next clue, as soon as you said it, I knew right away what it was. But it didn't matter. I'd already looked at your picture and I said, oh, I know what that is. And I bet I know what it is more so than you do, and I'll explain that in a minute. So she says the mineral was named after Henry James Brooke. By the way, there's an E on the end of K. Brooke. I even knew how to spell his name. He was an English crystallographer. He was also a textile merchant, and he discovered 12 different minerals, some rare ones actually. Now, brookite, there's only, if you're in Texas and you're able, I think you say you're going again, there's only one place that you're probably going to, and that would be Magnet Cove, Arkansas. And in Magnet Cove, not only is there world-class brookites, but there is a type. Okay, so for everybody, if you don't remember what brookite is, well, I guess you wouldn't. necessarily, but I have had nice pieces here, and I have had, and this is where Miss Karen, it is most commonly found as an inclusion in quartz. So even before I saw the picture, I knew where we were going with it. I knew that what you showed or what was in there, the first thing I said was it was quartz. I mean, I guess when all else fails, say quartz. So I got that part right. And the fact that it's brookite, I got that part right too when I mentioned, is it normally found as an inclusion in quartz? Most commonly, people are first familiar with brookite from it being an inclusion in quartz. Brookite is a polymorph. In other words, a same chemical formula as rutile. So it's a polymorph of rutile and anatase. It has a different crystal system, and hence it gets a different name. It looks completely different than rutile in many ways. So rutile is simple. It's TiO2, titanium dioxide, and most of you use it every year, many times more. It is the primary pigment for white paint, really white paint, titanium dioxide. And you heard of titanium mentioned this past week as being a rare earth element necessary to build. It's a light, really strong metal. There's not a plane built that doesn't have titanium in it. In Ukraine, there's deposits of it and how important it can be. So in the world market, titanium is necessary and used for many things. Also, it is used, and many of you won't know this, as the coating on a topaz you won't ever see me sell. I'm sorry, maybe a lot of you like it, but things like the Mystic Topaz, that iridescence they put over, it's a coating of titanium dioxide. Yeah. And so rutile and that family, brookite, they have dispersions upwards of twice the level of a diamond. So if you had a piece that you could facet in that family, boy, it would be an amazing looking natural scintillation. So I'm going to take it a step further than just say Magnet Cove. You have to tell me which deposit. Did you go to the Rutherford deposit or the Miller deposit or one other one? The other thing is, what makes it so unique, the Magnet Cove brookites, is an unusual crystallographic symmetry to them. And that's how James Brooke was able to identify it as something different, yet having the same chemical formula as rutile, titanium dioxide. So the ones, though, in Arkansas, they have been found to be chemically a little different. And they have been given the name Arkansite. So I want to know, I'm putting it back on you, Miss Karen. Did you know, or did your group mention that there's actually another name given to the Magnet Cove brookites of Arkansite? Because there is a replacement of the titanium that can occur with iron and niobium. And how unique is that? But it often will leave your brookite with being opaque, black and opaque. And your picture showed that one crystal you held up. That's amazing. That's a beautiful piece. And that I would have to say definitely is Arkansite, because that is black, opaque. Then you showed another picture with a quartz crystal, wonderful quartz crystal with the black brookite inclusions in it. That's what I mean by, is it found as an inclusion in quartz? So not only is it found in the quartz, but it is also found just, separate crystals, beautiful specimens on smoky quartz. And so Miss Karen goes on. After that clue, then she can't help herself. Miss Karen can't help herself to make it hard for me. So let's see. Okay, so she good luck. She gives all the answers correct to my trivia. Hold on, where is it? Maybe that was in the other part. So, Arkansas, yeah, the black opaque. I'm looking for, she gave me another, another clue. Oh, that was it. The secondary mineral other than brookite that she said, remember she said there was two different minerals, and I said quartz. Well, of course she's holding me out on that. I didn't get it quite right, except because it's smoky quartz. So she has to say, she says, well, another clue is the color is due to aluminum. That's quartz. Of course, that's smoky quartz, because aluminum is, and you might have learned that from trivia or for me mentioning that a few weeks ago. But how cool that would be if you did. So yes, I am calling you out. I'm telling you exactly what you have there. And Miss Karen, I am absolutely open. And dude, I want a surprise. So send me, I mean, I don't know how many specimens you're going to send me, but don't completely send me a surprise, something I don't know what it is or what is underneath the clay, unless you're afraid to give up something fantastic and want to make sure you cull it first if it is. But other than that, I mean, I have all kinds of cool stuff, kind of equipment for cleaning specimens like that, and would love to get that. Not only would I love to clean the specimen, but I love the specimen itself. I do not have any Magnet Cove brookite, and would love one of those specimens, 2 of them, 3 of them, several of them. That would be great. That would be great. And, well, I don't know. I could, if you send me anything really nice, I might trade you, you know? I could do that. If we can do the, what am I? Do some, I didn't do anything. I hit this piece of paper. I lean to the left?
Yeah, you did. Right now.
Okay, let me try. I'm straightening it up. Okay, here we go. All right, see how fancy of electronics around here we have? It is all in body motion. Okay, we're gonna go on. Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts says, hello all. A little disappointed in my response to what am I? I guess Anthony didn't do too well. I'll take it as a learning experience. I knew my answers were wrong as I'm writing them, but but the dog ate your homework and you didn't have time to, yeah. Congrats, however, Gabby, great job. Yet another show where everything should be in my checkout box. Great show for that. The Sugalite Dragon, I could eat that thing, just stunning. I love I did lean to the left. You're right.
It's your elbow.
It is my elbow.
It's your elbow.
Okay.
It's fine now.
It's not the aliens. Okay, I'll just sit here.
There you go.
Here's my desk. Got my arms on my desk.
And now lean to the right and fit us. You are the antenna.
I am. I know. You know what? I got my, I could check the voltage meter of myself right now. All right. So, see, look at that. Boy, you are right. Here, what's it?
To the light.
Yeah? White light? Huh. Okay. All right. Well, we like to have fun in this show, and that's what we're doing.
Are you sitting on a metal plate?
Only if I have one in my, yeah. And after falling several times mining, many times mining.
Take your mic back out of your pocket, put it on the table.
No, I pull it off the table. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull it off the table. I do it every time. Okay, I usually don't get up. I knew someone that used to do that, and he pulled it off the table within a minute of putting it there. Like, okay, I really am a chicken when it comes to carving. I still haven't finished a horse's head from marble you gifted me. Just can't seem to commit to making the critical cuts into the stone. That's why I gave you a piece of marble to do it on. You're not going to lose that much. Can you imagine carving that Sugalite Dragon? No one has come up and said that they have purchased it yet, but I certainly would expect someone of you out there to realize the deal. This is where I ask you to go online and look up and see and compare Sugalite carvings of something like that dragon. You are talking about thousands of dollars. And the placement of, with the claw around the pearl, and the pearl being just perfectly carved in nice Sugalite. I mean, that all has timed and planned in advance. So great carving. I know what you mean, though. I started carving on a snowman out of a piece of petrified wood when I was 14. I haven't finished it yet. So my problem was I started with something too hard. It took too long. So marble, you're right. That's the right thing. Hardness of 3. Start with something soft. You'll have much better results and start with something like, not like rhodochrosite, because rhodochrosite and the banding create weak places in it. So marble is a great thing because it's a metamorphic rock without cleavage planes. So anyway, I scored the parcel of diamonds and the Cooper Pedy opalized belemnite. Yeah, there was some nice ones I showed. I was wondering about that giant opal in uncut gems. It sure looked real. Yeah, did I mention about that? I was trying to wonder, what did I say? Did I say that that stone was real, the opal was real?
You thought it was.
Right. Okay, good. Because my answer then, I couldn't remember my answer, and I was going to go back and actually look at my own show, but I didn't have time to do that.
Couldn't stand to watch yourself.
Exactly. I couldn't say, I'd say, who is that toothless hippie doing that show? You know, they should just, you know, the old gong show, take a cane and yank him off. You know what? I will tell a story. And this only came out within the last couple of years when Alice and I have gotten closer. He actually told me how he felt about me when I first came to gem shopping, and he saw me 17 years ago. Yeah, he wasn't real impressed, but I had to earn the respect, which I did. As soon as I started talking, and I've never stopped in his mind since, but out came real information, as you hear now, in about everything I say, whether I talk about petrified wood and the hardness compared to calcite, and whether, you know, about marble being metamorphic and not having cleavage planes. And, you know, it's just non-stop information, if you want to look at it that way. Let's see. I was wondering about, so that opal, yes, in uncut gems, absolutely. That is a real opal. That's when I went into my stores, because I think the same thing again comes in my mind of those ones I bought from a big opal dealer from Wello when I was about 10 years ago. Those aren't available anymore, and the price has skyrocketed. But yes, that big stone was a genuine opal, and great photography on capturing the fire that was in it. And because I can recognize different types of fire and relate them to origin, because opal, you only have so many choices, right? It was easy to see that the play of color was indeed the Wello variety of play of color. So yeah, and opals from Wello do get that big. I've actually had them, and I've sold them, except the one I had was even, a couple I've had were even nicer quality by far than the one shown, even though that big one, it was a beauty. Okay, so let's see. Mr. Anthony goes on to say, you were killing me with those 4 demantoid garnets. I would go with the pair on the right with the horsetail inclusions, same ones that Chuck liked. And he's sitting only feet from them. So same ones. They were indeed the better color, and they had the horsetail inclusions, but they were even less expensive. And it would be a tough choice for me, because the dispersion when you see those in person were amazing of the other ones. But that horse, I like that horsetail inclusion thing myself. Remember, it's my birthstone. And I have one. I kept one from a batch I got one time. It's on my floor in the bedroom somewhere. Yeah. Along with one of the most outstanding color change garnets you could imagine. Yeah. And why I haven't vacuumed underneath my edge of the bed, because that's where I think it is. Because, you know, when you run the sweeper, as Yankees call them, over a pebble, you know that lovely noise it makes? Boy, I sure would hate to hear that if I ran the sweeper, the vacuum, in my bedroom and heard that noise. Chances would be it wouldn't be just a little pebble. Yeah. So, hasn't been vacuumed yet. Need to do that. Mr. Brad from Pennsylvania.
See that?
Oh, can you put it on the screen? Awesome. He's such a genius. He's got the opal. That's it. From the movie Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler in it. See? Look at that play of color. That is absolutely the real deal. That is absolutely the real deal. I didn't see the very first moment. Did you have the whole size of the big piece? Okay. Let's show the whole size. That way no one knows. It's a movie I recommend you seeing because, okay, look at that. You can see relative to his fingers, and it's neat. That is the natural matrix. There's no way they could even putty that together to make it look like that, because I know what natural rhyolite matrix on, and every little natural place, they didn't even look like they ground into it. It looked like it was kind of natural little conchoidal fractures off of it to reveal the fire. And in every place that there was opal that you could see there was fire. So that whole entire piece was nothing but color. Now, the interesting thing is he was counting on it selling in auction for $1 million. And I'm not giving away. Oh, yeah.
That's what the color is.
Yeah, that blue part. Yeah, it actually, it goes crystalline on one end, and then it becomes a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more black with a darker base. Yeah, that's a good pick of it also for relative size. So he thinks it's worth $1 million. And what I found so interesting is, well, I don't want to, what's that called? When you give away a plot?
Spoiler.
That's it. I don't want to be a spoiler. But anyway, we all know at looking at that opal and knowing yourself, you know it's not worth $1 million. So I'll leave it at that. And gem dealers will always have that in their mind to start with. They're like fishermen. Everything is worth more than it ends up to really be worth. It's like the Bahia emerald that's been fought over for decades for ownership because it was first claimed to be worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. And it's not. It's just simply not. I've sold those green emeralds from Bahia. You've seen it. It's just, you remember my 60-pound green emerald? I'm sure Asif does, that emerald piece. And, I kept up with the clients for a little bit. I bought it so inexpensively. I sold it here on the show for like $5,000 or $6,000. It was 60 pounds shot through with emerald crystals. That's worth way more than it went for. So, but it's also big, like the one they're talking about, the Bahia Emerald. Look it up if you want to. Just put it in Bahia Emerald, and I'm sure it'll come up, and you can read the whole story. So we have Mr. Brad from Pennsylvania being. This is funny. We got to read this. Okay, so he is part of the Geeks. So he's a buddy with Miss Barbara, and he's a buddy with Miss Gabby. To Shawn, the Raven, Asif, the newest of the gem shopping hosts, Latif, the Christie Keeper, Chuck, gem shopping staff, the whole Rock family, and Miss Karen with her bucket of chicken night. Greetings and great show and tell the last few weeks, not to be confused with show and yell, whisper. He writes, trivia answers, dioptase is a copper silicate prettier than green gel toothpaste. The Duff type locality is the Sumed mine in Namibia. Try saying Duff type quickly 3 times. And I'm not going to do it on TV or wherever I'm on because there's a chance a bad word will come out from that. You saying it to yourself, Chuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to take that chance because you're right. That is a tongue twister. Duff type 3 times fast. One time it didn't come out right. The Duff tight was not a long I. It came out a short I, if you know what that means in grammar. Okay, so very, very cute there, Mr. Brad. Malachite replaces azurite as a pseudomorph, origin Morocco, so getting all the trivia right. Professor, it has been a month since my last confession with you. And being a Catholic, former Catholic, well, not a practicing Catholic anymore, but I know all about confession. The above are not my guesses. I hope to make amends for referring to them as such, and that I may receive absolution for all my previous and all future such transgressions. Now about the bucket of chickenite. I would point out that there is a clue, a barefoot and a sandal in the picture. From this clue, I would deduce that this indicates the rocks were freshly collected near a beach and probably in a tropical location. How about in Maui? On the Hawaiian Islands, they make red dirt t-shirts stained by red dirt. Wow. I think that happens naturally in Georgia. Sure hope they don't pay extra for it. So I am guessing the chickenite is really red lava rock. I am hoping I can include this guess under the umbrella of the above confession if you will grant me the indulgence. Okay, we won't get into adding any more Hail Marys and Our Fathers. I wrote a poem one time, and it almost got in Lapidary Journal and Rock and Gem magazine at the age of 13. And it was called This is the Rockhound Kind. It was 5 stanzas. Oh, no, 5 paragraphs or stanzas? Oh, the same thing. Anyway, I can almost... Verses, okay. There was 5 verses and about 4 lines to each verse. And I can almost recite it by memory. And the Harris Rock Shop gave it out all the time because Lapidary Journal and Rock and Gem as standard policy. They said it was a great poem, but as standard policy, they didn't accept that kind of literature. But I am sure probably someone has taken claim for it, stolen and put their name on it by now. Very, my mom helped write it, so with me. I couldn't have been that clever at the age of 13, but my mom is. I have one copy of it left over all these years, and one original one. And I'm going to bring it in, and I will read it to you, because it's kind of a confessional about what a rockhound kind is and does. So I think a lot of you would enjoy it. Yeah. And it brings back fond memories of me. I can remember sitting with my mom actually writing that and helping her. So it was pretty cool. I have a couple ideas for future shows. Just some thoughts. Idea number one. Set your prices using prime numbers rather than lucky numbers. Lucky numbers work for individuals who are lucky, but prime numbers are mathematically very cool for everyone. Okay, I know you belong to the Rockhound Geeks. Matt, former principal. Now, Matt, we got to hear from you. You got the Geiger counter and everything, and then you just drop out and you collect fluorescent. So if you watch the show, you got to just say hey. And also, Miss Elisa in Florida, while I'm talking about where are some of you, say hey. We worry about you. Okay, so what did you do, Brad, for a living? I want to know. I want to know what you did or what you do, because you have you write like you were an engineer, some type of engineer. Let me know, or astrophysicist. Maybe that's it. You know, when I think about the geeks, when I put together the knowledge of Miss Barbara, Miss Gabby, Mr. Brad, and the two others unnamed that are buy and get things from the show as well. That's a lot of brain power. Yep, you guys really challenged me. Let's see. So going on, he goes. So you could use your lucky sevens in prices in the following prime numbers. So, see.
97.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, so Mr. Brad. Now, of course, he referenced me as professor, but Mr. Brad has to list the prime numbers for me. Like
You have one or two, I think. You got 83 and 89. I had about 8.
You know, so a prime number, for those of you, is a number that can only be divided by itself in the number one. So, like, let's say 1, 3, 5.
No. Not, well, 2, 3, 5. Not 1.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 2, 3, 5. Yeah. So, the numbers he wrote, which would be prime numbers, 17, 37, 47. These are all the lucky numbers with the 7. So he takes them out about 20 of them. They all have 7s, which is a good reference. 127, 137, 157. That's a good idea, actually. Yep. Since I use 7 and 8 for the auspicious numbers because it gives me more options, 87, 78, because 8 in half the world is the lucky number in the Asian whole side of the world. And of course, 7 for the Western world is the lucky number. And it ends up to favor all of you. Like everyone would use like $99, right? Sounds cheaper than $100. Well, instead of 99, I use 98 or 88 or 78. It comes out always less expensive if I do the auspicious numbers than if I regularly would use the common retail numbers that people think make it sound cheaper. Idea number 2, the YouTube postings show you in various, I was going to talk about this. Now, I don't know if it's Uriel doing it, who is the editor of the show, so I like to give everyone credit that works on the show. I don't know if he does this, but I could see Uriel doing this. So, the YouTube postings show you in various frozen poses, sometimes with your mouth open and eyes shut. Yeah, I've seen some of those pictures. They all look similar from show to show. When I want to go back several shows, I can't remember which show had what content. If you start each show by displaying a piece in the show like the bucket of chicken night, then I could more easily remember that you also showed malachite versus azurite. For now, I have to remember that you were wearing your favorite fishing shirt covered with lures. And I wore that for you, Mr. Brad. I know you like my fishing shirts. You can put me down for another domino set if they don't all go. I got one already, but could use more if you get the Gem Geeks together for an all-night domino game. Dare I turn out the lights to see if they fluoresce? But no ghost stories. And it's Telly Savalas, a.k.a. Jack says. With a bucket of chicken, I would say, ciao, baby. Brad in Pittsburgh, PA. Okay, I'll put you down for a domino set. I think I'm getting 6 of them. I think to actual people here at Gem Shopping, I think 3 are sold. I mean, the thing just passed from different departments, and all of a sudden everybody wanted them. And they are so cool because of the fossils. They fluoresce. It's carved out of natural stone. So I only have 6. So that's 4. Okay, so Brad, you're in. Putting you down. And I'm going to give the other 2. Anybody else listening to me right now, let me know if you want one of those domino sets. I showed it several shows back if you want to go back and see. And 4 of the 6 now, if Brad's taking one, are already gone. So if anybody of you mention to me, I will set them aside and then regret that I didn't get more. I did not realize all of you that play dominoes. Wow. So you're down for one there, Mr. Brad. Miss Penny in Quebec. Hello, Shawn, the very lovely Ray. And by the way, Brad, I like your ideas. Yep. And your sense of knowledgeable humor. Miss Penny, hello, Shawn, the very lovely Raven, amazing GSN crew and fellow rock hounds. I hope this finds everyone well. Getting, let's see, yep, all the trivia right. Thank you for another great show. I finally picked up my package from FedEx. What a great specimen of androdite and Hedenbergite from Greece. Now remember, Miss Penny is from Greece and helps us with all of our Greek necessity. And so long ago, Miss Penny's been watching me since the live show, so 8, 10 years or longer. Since I've been here 17, it could be much longer. And she said long ago she bought every Greek specimen I ever showcased or tried to. And then when I realized that she collected Greek specimens, and she said I hadn't shown one in a year, which I knew I hadn't. Well, I was down to very little left. So what was left, of course, is very personal specimens, my garnet collection. And I happened to have one that I knew this whole time, but I wasn't ready to let it go. And it was well, all of you saw it, the androdite and Hedenbergite. And I want to add, Miss Penny, the Hedenbergite crystals on it, you see that lightish greenish color? There's also the rest of the greenish color that isn't crystallized. That is Hedenbergite also. So it's just kind of granular Hedenbergite on the piece as well. So, yeah, it actually has more Hedenbergite than just the crystals, basically. So, she says, what a great specimen of androdite and Hedenbergite from Greece. It was wonderful to examine it and find the Hedenbergite crystals. I've never heard of them before. We have March break next week up here, so I will spend more time checking it out. Now I have 9 Greek specimens on my shelf. Thank you very much. How cool is that? 9 Greek specimens. That is a hard thing to get, actually. 9 different ones. Fave of the week. Wow, 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 with lots of exclamation points. I think that Sugilite dragon may be the best thing you have ever shown. Wow, that is a high bar to reach. Whether on your podcast or your live show, wow, that is a real high bar that you put it. I think it beats out the horn carvings, gemstone paintings, and the Francois jewelry you had on your live show. Too far out of my budget for now, especially since Mahalis has outgrown his child-sized loft bed and needs a new, bigger bed. Interesting. Ever since I first heard the term Sugilite a couple of decades ago, I always pronounced it with a hard G. Well, that's great. Soft G just sounds wrong. The other fave of the week, way back in second place, is the Agarine specimen. That was that beautiful black crystals of Agarine with feldspar. That's it for now. We wish everyone a wonderful week and hope to see you next week. Penny and Mahaly from Quebec. Yeah. I'm glad that you like the Sugilite dragon. I do as well. I think someone needs to realize just the value of that. And, as much as I hate, I've enjoyed it. I have had it for a long time. I bought it at a good deal. Other than that, there's no way I could offer it for the price I was offering it at. I had that other Sugilite dragon that was a little bit smaller. It was more just all Sugilite. Kind of near the same price range, I think, whatever. But this dragon, the detail is amazing, and just it incorporates some of the other matrix type looking material and other minerals found along with the Sugilite. Yeah, Kenichi Sugi in 1945 discovered it in Japan. It was a hard G. It's one of the most, and Mindat even says that, one of the most mispronounced gem names that there is. Everyone wants to say with a soft G. And I wonder how long though they put that paragraph in there, because I've been drumming on this ever since I've been on air, and it wasn't there. It was added back in there. So I don't know. I'd like to think that I have enough people. Maybe I stirred up enough that needed to be mentioned, because I always when I bring up Sugarlight, bring up the hard G versus the soft G. There's nothing worse, is there, than your name being mispronounced. I know my last name is only 4 letters, and you would not believe. And it is pronounced phonetically just as it's spelled. There's no secret to its pronunciation. And the number of people that will ask me, well, how do you pronounce that? It's 4 letters. And I say, just like it's spelled. And you want to say something worse, like, didn't you take first grade phonetics? Yeah, so kind of worries me when they ask that. So, okay, so let's see. Did we get to, okay, and then that, wow, all right. And there is, okay. There we have it. All right, so all of you did great. All of you, not one of you that answered the trivia got it wrong. Boy, that tells me something, that you guys are doing great. You guys are really, really doing great. And all right, I have lots to show, so I've got to get rocking and rolling on that. So when everyone gets it right, so I assign a number to a name, and then I ask somebody to name a number between 1 and however many participated. And in that case, I did. And oh man, I just saw I messed up a cool display I'm going to do for you guys. It's a what am I, but I'm going to tell you what they are, and you're going to get a chance to buy them. See, I just circle back around to the answer, and the winner is Brad. Yep, Brad. You have won. And let's show Brad what he has won, because I think it is something that, thank you. Here we go. That Brad can share with the geeks and learn from, because it is a diamond crystal. It is a diamond crystal. Now, I happen to know a while back, I asked, it was part of the What Am I's, and of all the ones that Miss Gabby got wrong. She got this wrong. And Brad had gotten it right. I remember that. And he had told Miss Gabby the right answer, and she didn't feel well about using it. So I am giving, this just, anybody could have won it, but it just happened to be Brad to win it. So I think he might already be one of the Greeks that had it, but no one had bought those diamond crystals that I offered. And there were 4 of them. And I thought every one would be sold. They were relatively a really good deal. And since nobody bought a single one, I decided I'm going to keep them all. And then I'll just maybe gift them away like I am right now. These are from the Congo. Look at the clarity. This actually is a fairly decent clarity and stone. And I am curious because, let's see, if I zap this with my fluorescent laser pointer. Let's see. Oh, it is. That is fluorescent. And I'm using a special laser UV light, which is strong enough to overcome anything else. And look at that. I thought a lot of the Congo diamond crystals have a strong blue fluorescence, and boy, that one does. So that was the real deal that you're seeing right there. And I'm looking at the others, and how cool, because I think that is the only one, oddly enough, of the 4 that I had that fluoresces like that. So very cool. Mr. Brad, congratulations. I'll be right back. Okay, this is what I have been wanting to do for weeks. I actually wanted to do this in a live show at some point, because it's so educational, and everything that you see is for sale. So that makes it worthwhile time-wise. All right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you there is, believe it or not, what you're looking at could be all the same type of stone, or could be something else. How do you determine when you have, let's say, stones that are all including, look at these tumbled ones, including the tumbled ones, all in the same color range? Look at this. So how do you determine what they are if you do not have $1,000 refractometers? Well, there's a simple way, and it's one of the best ways, and I've been talking about this, and it's called N52 magnet, neodymium magnet, and it is the official strength magnet that is used when you determine what something is using magnet. They even have a scale and a rating and numbers. I don't get into all that, but it becomes extremely important to know what is magnetic, what can be magnetic, depending on substitution, and how easy it is to determine what something is or isn't by simple magnetism. Now, in front of you, believe it or not, there is citrine, there is spessartine, and there is hessonite garnet. You have someone that is offering you all these stones at a particular price, and it would be a great deal if they were something more than quartz. But let's say the price is beyond and higher, and you're wondering how it's justified, and how can you tell whether you're getting a deal or not? Because believe it or not, there are people in the trade that and online, not necessarily when they set the ones that set up at shows have to answer for it the next time they come back around to a show. Those, you can feel comfortable about. But online, yeah, you never know what you're going to get. So how can you simply figure out at home some simple tests? Let's say you bought some spessartines, or let's say you bought spessartine and you think maybe you got something else. Well, right now at a particular angle, I'm going to show you how you can tell simply and pull out what is citrine. I see it right now because this particular stone at this particular angle is showing it. Look at the zoning. The zoning. Only quartz will have color zoning that is very well defined. And this is actually the way to tell natural citrine from glass or other things. And it is the color zoning. You can see it there right at the bottom when I tilt that. A different. Yeah, this is very good. Very good. You can, so Asif got it right by the visual.
Yeah, I found it wrong so many times these days. With Mandarin, the spiral, really difficult.
Yes, those could actually run in the same color range as well in the nice quality. You can see the citrine from the back. You see those lighter color areas? Well, underneath a little more magnification, those are really straight lines. And of course, if they curve, they're going to be synthetic. If they're straight and then angle off into a chevron shape, that is even more indicative of the crystallography and the zoning of quartz. Now, there's going to be a zoning at some particular angle if you look at a natural stone from every different way. So this one may not be as easy to see as the other one, but I can assure you, yeah, right there, exactly. So Asif is seeing it, and so right there. Okay, now you say, well, let me just check. Okay, you look it up on the chart, and citrine is supposed to be not magnetic. So let's get a second answer, or second test is really what I meant to say, to the citrine. And we have, it doesn't even drag, there's no pickup response, there's no response. And that is the correct response for citrine. All right. Now, what we have here, let's pull up item number one. Let's do it. We'll make it easier. 122-9824. 122-9824. That's going to be the information on these two citrines. If you want a chance, this is world-class Madeira citrine. This is old stock material. It is and could be natural color. You just don't know. You just can't be assured whether it is. But what it is, of course, with the zoning, tells you also that it's natural quartz, and it is not the voluminous amount of lab-grown quartz that is out there, so much so that it is almost assumed that amethyst that you see in jewelry anymore is lab-grown. That's why it's so important to be able to know and recognize when something is earth mined and natural, and the zoning in those stones is the sign you are looking for, because they cannot grow lab-grown material with zoning like natural quartz. These two stones, if you want them, we sold a pair in the live show, Asif and I. That's another reason that the guy remembers, and he's also offered during his show some really nice, big, major spessartines. If you're looking for that, catch one of his shows. He's had some amazing stones in them. So this citrine, I'm offering it at a sale price opportunity in my YouTube show, 4.42 carats. I had these at only $20 a carat. That made them only $88. That is such a deal, but I'm going to make them the auspicious number, $78. $78, because to offer them much anything less than that, certainly can't replace them. This is the real deal. That is the color citrine most desired of any color. Okay, so we got these out of the way. I'm just going to set them back a little bit. Look at this pile in the corner. Ah, 7. Oh, is that a prime number? Yeah, I would have made it 79. You're right, but then that'd be $1 more for everybody. So I guess we won't do that.
We can tell him to fix 79.
Yeah. There you go, Brad. If it's so important to you, Brad, that was such a great idea. You can pay the $79 for that versus my auspicious numbers of 78. Which is it going to be, Brad? Remember how I said the retail number is 79? You know, make it sound cheaper than 80. That's why I said when I use 78, it's cheaper than what would normally be.
He'd rather pay 73.
I also just said that you would say that he would rather pay 73. I agree. Knowing Mr. Brad, who happens to be collecting emeralds, I think, just have an idea. He would come back with that. You're right. I think he also is a negotiator. I have a feeling somehow there's a negotiator in that side of him. 79 for Brad. That's great. That's great. Oh, that's funny. That's cute.
The dollar for the food.
See, this show is so much fun. And Asif, man, you know, that's why when Asif did, well, never mind. We had a great show. We had a good time. It's $1 more. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's a GoFundMe. Yeah, GoFundMe, Tooth Fairy collection money. That's what we need. Somebody grab those before somebody else does. Okay, so what is this pile of stones in here? These color ranges look like they could be any number of these stones out here. Look at this amazing round. Now, here's one thing that you can tell sometimes. Even though citrines are well cut, these rounds are cut well also. And if you had two similar stones cut exactly the same side by side, it would be easy to see and notice that these round stones or whatever citrine would have a higher amount of brilliance and scintillation, especially if I wipe the smudges off them. But even in general, like Asif was able to spot them, but he's become learned on the subject. So these two stones. Okay, so what do? We have this. All right, let's check these stones in the corner if there's magnetism to them. Nope, nothing there. Now, if we're thinking citrine, I don't see zoning in any of these. Okay, no zoning. It would be easy to see. So we know they're not citrine. Plus, this color gets into a color that really you don't see in citrine much. So, yeah. It could be in some of the really unusual colors, the deeper red oranges of fire opal. So they're not citrine. They're not magnetic. So we're thinking, okay, what could they be? We're down to a type of garnet. Well, we know that the garnets that come in these colors are either hessonite or spessartines. So what we have, we're just going to scoop these quartz, since we already talked about them. Let's just remove those. Somebody, if you want them, grab them. I just was showing you how similar these colors are. Okay, So we're down to the round ones, and then we have these ovals, and look at how similar the color range is. How do you tell what is what? Look at this. Look at this bright one. Look at that color, and then look at this, because I can tell already by the way it's step cut on the belly, on the pavilion, that it's going to be a brilliant stone. Look at that. Look at that. That has a mandarin color. So is it, if you say, okay, well, I think it's garnet, but is it, what two colors come in that range? Spessartine and hessonite. Now, you should know or remember that spessartine is the garnet with manganese, the manganese garnet, okay? Well, manganese, now this is something you have to learn and remember, is a metal that is magnetic, So we have these three stones, and we have those two stones, and we have the pile. We know these weren't magnetic. So let's see if spessartines are magnetic. We know grossulars, remember, hessonite is a type of grossular. Grossular garnet that can look like the green grossulars that are savarite, that can look like the androdites. And how do you tell the difference between those two? You already know that by now. Androdite garnet has iron in it. Remember, it has iron along with the calcium. The eugrandite garnets and the pyrospites is how you can remember the two groups. One group having all calcium in it, and the other group having all aluminum in them, each one. So the magnet will tell us. Let's put the magnet over these starting here, and let's see if we get any response. Nothing. Okay, so that tells me that they could be, I already looked, there's no zoning, so they're not citrine, and they're not magnetic, and they're that color. And let's see if the other two rounds respond in any way. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Boom! It's a pickup response. It's not even a drag response. That is a pickup response. By the way, did you see the different colors when you turn those garnets? You see the dichroic nature to it? Look, I saw it. Look at the red. The red is purple in that one angle. Look at that one on the right. Look at that color coming out of there. That's amazing. Look at that. So, right there. And I think it's Mn2+. I think that's the valence of them. So, there you go. There you go. With the amount of brilliance, there's no other stones in that color range that would be magnetic. I showed you the other ones. The citrines. So what are these others? And these? By elimination, they are hessonite garnet. So let's go ahead and give you a chance. And what?
Mn3.
Okay, Mn3. Thanks for looking that up. I couldn't remember whether it was Mn2+ or Mn3+. Okay, so Mn3+, which is a valence, and the 3+ is we won't get into the number of electrons and the valences, different valences, but it does make a difference in the end. It's why pyrite isn't magnetic, yet it only has two elements, iron and sulfur. Good grief, why isn't it magnetic? Well, the weird thing about pyrite is because they offset each other, making it a non-magnetic mineral, which is really unusual. So that gets into whether something's Mn3+ or whether something's Fe3+. Also, aquamarine. We will get into that just a speck, because when you heat aquamarine to remove that little green tint, what that is a particular valence of iron. And it's an Fe2+ to Fe3+ difference in the valence, and heating it will cause that electron to jump, and in doing so, it will alter the color center and remove the green. And I have heat treated thousands of carats of aqua, And I always like the natural color. That's what it was named after. Seawater, aqua, marine, translates to seawater, the color of seawater, having that greenish tint. But generally the blue is more desirable in most cases. So, all right, let's give you an opportunity to buy what you are looking at. And that's what's so cool about this show. We give you the education, then you get to buy what you're looking at. Item 1, 2, 52, 925. Or let me do that better. 125, 2925. And that is the opportunity on these Namibian spessartines. Pardon? Oh, yep, there they are. Okay, great. Look at these. Look at these. So there's the info on the 2 stones. And the brilliance is amazing. And this is the good stuff. So you can see a slightly different millimeter in each, but they are, look at that.
Yeah.
Stunning. Yeah, the reds in that from the sides are amazing. That is, see, when you see that also, that will also tell you, if you see enough material, that you know then it's not a hessonite. Hessonite won't do that, and citrine won't do that. So you get that from the manganese spessartine. The price of these is a ridiculous opportunity. I have only, and Asif is going to know this because he knows the price, what this material is worth. So we have a total weight of a carat 63. It looks like, that material sells for 300 a carat. 200 a carat, whatever, 100 a carat. That would be a deal at $163. So how about this? $68. $68 for both. $68. And, wow, that's a value. That's a value. Now, let's give you a chance at these 3 hessonites. Look at these. Look at these 3 stones. And it's this one in the middle, that is a beautiful mandarin color. But boy, I tell you, you certainly aren't going to pay the mandarin price. Let's look at item number 1, 2, 3, 6824. 1, 2, 3, 6824. And all 3 hessonites. These, I had another parcel. Actually, I think I had 2 other parcels, and we sold them in the live show that we did back in December. And on New Year's Day, we sold 120 items between those 2 shows. Just not total items, just the mineral specimens, just the items that came from what I featured between the 2 shows. That is a phenomenal number, and no one even knew that we were going to that I was going to be there with those that kind of inventory. So it really caught everybody off guard in the middle of the night. That's what made it so fun for everybody. All right, so those 3 hessonites, you ready? I've got them sale priced. You can pick them up here at a bargain. Make the 3 only $78. Only $78. And it's kind of funny, or whether it's funny or how, whatever word you would describe it, that.
Can you take the other stones out?
Yeah, I will. I'm going to. The citrines, I'm just showing how exactly similar the color is. That's a citrine. That's a citrine. And to get hessonites for the price of the 2 citrines, because the 2 citrines were $78, or the 3 hessonites. And what that really says is the hessonites are a really good value, and the citrine is, compared to what I've seen this material in citrine go for $100 a carat. So a great value on both. But the rarity of the citrine is probably surpasses the rarity of the hessonites. Yeah, that's some really special citrine. Okay, so there's a chance you have, here, the tumbled stones. One more item. Oh yeah, you get to get in on those as well. Here we go. Item number 1082, 922. 1082, 922. And let me pull these out, show them to you. Look at these. So these are can you just change it to 10 stones, please, sir? If I find the other, let's see, 5, 10. When I was opening those, I did a rookie mistake. I You know what I'm going to do? Austin, I'm sorry to bother you. If you'll change that back to 11, just so, to make sure the carat, because Christy, the inventory keeper, will reject it if I don't have 20 carats in there. Oh yeah, she's tough. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to I was going to actually add some of these to even make it more difficult and to show you the challenges that you can come across. I'm going to add these this one stone, and you can always recognize it from this show, so you can pull it out. It is not magnetic. I should do the what am I and see if anybody can figure out what that stone is that I just added. It is amazing just how similar in color, but it is completely different. And if you faceted it, that's it. That's it. What was the other one?
Smoky.
Oh, smoky quartz. A little too yellow. So it would be in the citrine range for that if it was. It is a Tanzanian stone. And when you heat treat these, this is how they get the white version of it. They take these, that's a little nicer color than normal because they would probably facet that color, but some of the more of the champagne colors, the brownish color tones, they will heat treat these, and that's in two different manners of treatment to get to the white zircons. There used to be a lot of natural white zircons, but no, most of the white zircons you see now, if not like almost all, unless it's in older pieces, are going to be heat treated. And that's why I just said what this is. This is zircon. It is zircon. Now, I tell you what, if someone, here, I have these set up to purchase since I've done this, let me give you another item number. Yep, you can buy. Okay. Yep. Too much out there. Oh, I didn't give a price on the, that single, on the tumble ones. You're right. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Too excited. Okay, so the tumbled ones, how about this? Everyone's going to love that. That parcel of tumbled hessonite, and with that little extra zircon that you can find in there if you want. Let's go ahead and make that parcel only, $28. Why not? $28 for the parcel. That is a huge sale price. I know. I could have, here. So like, this next item is what I thought that, and I had it set up to do, but we didn't get to it in our show because it's a multiple. It is item number 1208924. 1208924. Now, what I'm going to show everybody, something really cool, and that is the opportunity. So let me move these out of the way. Let me dump these just to the side and show you what the opportunity is. Here is the parcel. You get everything you see here, and you can see that there are some lighter color stones. And I actually tumbled these. I tumbled all these myself. There's actually, you can see some little kind of pinkish color ones there. There's some, look at that white one. So that shows you right there. Yeah, look at that white one right there. So these are natural color. So look at that bicolor one. Wow, cool. I should have pulled that one out. That is cool. I tumbled all these myself. These are zircons. And if they look a little bit different, the polish is excellent. But remember, zircon is very birefringent. So in other words, like peridot, after it's cut, the facets look doubled because it has such a strong difference in the upper end of what it refracts and the lower end. The difference is called the birefringence. And some stones, it's such a large difference that it causes the stone to be blurry when you look at it. The back facets will be slightly doubled. One of the stones that really has that unusual property, and is the way I could always tell, is a moissanite. Oh, I didn't need that expensive, diamond detector or whatever they call it. No, if you can't tell a natural diamond from moissanite, then you should be in another business. But a lot of people can't. A lot of people can't. But it's all about double refraction. It's all about the crispness of the facets, because even though moissanite is even a little bit harder than corundum, it still is about 3 times, diamond is about 3 times harder. So when you facet and you polish a facet, the sharp crispness of what we call the facet meat, where 2 facets come together, that meat on all other stones is slightly rounded. It takes, a loop, 10 power, you can see it. And when you see that slightly rounded meat, you know every time it's not a diamond. The meats on a diamond are as crisp and as sharp as ever. And other stones, due to the little bit softer nature, you cannot get a super sharp meat. And I taught many different people that method, and every one of them, when I showed them the difference, it's like, oh, a light bulb came on and said, I never saw that or recognized that as a way to identify a diamond separate from every other stone. And it works. It works. It's very effective. So just start looking at the difference in your stones and at a diamond, and you'll be able to pick up the ability to tell simply by looping them, and it goes really easily and quickly. Okay, so I have these 50 carats of facet grade. You can see it's facet grade material, and I have the multiples. This is the bag I have. Look at this. So I have a wonderful bag that I can sell a number of them. I think it's 19 parcels. So here is a huge discount. 50 carats, everything you see, facet grade zircon, you can smash them up and create a Zen garden if you want, or paint with them, so to speak, with the, like the gemstone paintings I showed you before that they do with gemstones that aren't usable for other purposes. Well, for as low as I'm going to charge for that, you can smash them up. Here we go, $18 a parcel. $18 a parcel for 50 carats of amazing zircon. And that is a excellent opportunity. And so now that I added that other one to that other parcel, you have something cool. If whoever gets that can recognize it from the show and choose it for them. Okay, give me a moment. I'll be right back. I need to clean up this mess. Here is something I haven't offered all of you before, and something that is way cool, a dragon. And I like dragons, obviously, owls and dragons. So let me just show you the British Columbian material. Look at the colors. Look at the backlight. Look at that. Look at that translucency. Very, very cool. Very cool. And this is, for those of you that like your dragons with wings, more of the European medieval dragon, that's perfect. That's perfect. Or you should just collect dragons. If someone got the Sugalite dragon, then either one of them, then you need to add this to your collection. Now, I talked directly to my British Columbian jade source. They have 4 claims on what they deal with what they refer to as First Nations. First Nations are the indigenous people to British Columbia, and they're the ones that the nephrite claims are on. There's been a lot of politics, and it's been difficult because they're a relatively smaller player compared to others that offer the First Nations big contracts to dig their jade. So, but they've still been digging jade and mining for 40 years, and the material's gone up. Labor has gone up over the many years. I looked at the price of, they don't offer this type dragon anymore, but their pricing on items that were similar was crazy compared to what I'm offering this dragon for. I'm offering it for like a third of what I would have to now if I replaced it. So here's a chance to get in on a really neat piece on a wooden base for a discounted opportunity. Only $148. Only $148 for that. And that's one of a kind anymore. They aren't making it. Look at this, and look at the tail. It's really a neat piece. And the way these are done, I've seen people. It can hold stuff. You can put some different things in there that it would hold everything from maybe a pencil to I don't know what, cigarette if you smoke something, you know. Well, it's lined up. They lined up. Look at that. So it'll hold it perfectly at an angle, same size. So it's clever because you can make it more clever. You can make it even cooler than it already is. Dragons, so popular in all these games and mythical shows that you see. So, very cool piece. All right, let me keep moving. Got lots to do. I have item here. Let's see. 125, 30, 25. 125, 30, 25. So let me start off on this side and show it to you like this. And you're saying, well, that doesn't look like much, Shawn. All right. Well, I should do a what is it for this side and see what kind of answers I'd get if you would know enough. Because if I saw that, I would say, yeah, I would say that's epidote. And most of you should say it as well. You've seen enough epidote. I have featured many. I've sold a flat of epidote to Anthony, which I that's why I remember, completely regret. The epidotes have, the specimens I sold often have what I'm going to show you is on the other side. Look at this. Look at that size of these sphene crystals across here. So these are all sphene crystals on a bed of epidote. Now look over here. The epidote crystals, they get quite large and they have, let's see, let me put some backlighting on them. And you can look at the green color tone to the epidote. If I can, there we go. Single out some of the crystals here, the bigger ones at the edge, and you can see there. You can see right there just how look at all of them, how translucent the epidote is, and of course the sphene's going to be, but the epidote, I guess in a way, I'm more impressed with some of the epidote, and you can see the epidote crystals bleeding into. Right there, the sphenes, and then all of these are epidote crystals across the face. And let me show you. This, I'm gonna clean it. The face of this in normal viewing might just look kind of dull, but when we really view it, hold on, let me get my hand on the other side here. There we go. With, hold on, some magnification. Look at the crystals. Look at those individual crystals. Look at that. They're beautiful. The whole face of that, instead of it just looking like grains of sand, green sand, is nothing but epidote crystals, and then coming over here to the bigger ones. And then on the back, I think I noticed that there were some small sphene crystals. You can see them right there. There's some twinning ones right there, actually, which sphene does often, will twin. So this is a large, wow, that's cool. Look at all the sphene crystals. And was this the one I saw a little bug on, maybe? It was a little opening. Oh, maybe it was down in there. Yeah, you can see little crystals down in there. It's little openings like that. You can find sometimes marvelous other mineralization that is protected over eons of time. Oh, there's another little opening down in there. And it's that kind of stuff that's fun when you get it. Look at the size of that epidote crystal right there. I didn't see that before. That's a large one right underneath there. How neat is that? All right, so if you want a unique, very cool specimen, it doesn't really fall apart as easy as it's looking. Stands on its own on the side, and you know how much I love that. All right, price on this guy, it is an opportunity for you, for certain. Yeah, only $78. $78. That is for what you get, a magnificent opportunity and representation. And look at the screens, large, beautiful Moroccan specimen, beautiful. Now, I am going to show, what I'm getting ready to show you is something phenomenal. It is item number 1252025, 1252025. This is something, a new mineral that you have never seen, well, or never knew the name of what you might have seen. And I have it protected in a really, I was almost going to show you the box, but I don't want to run out of time because I have much to do. This is a amazing, amazing specimen, and I've had it for some time. Just let me go ahead and clean this off for a moment and bring this in. Look at this. Look at this. Now, it's one of those that it gets more inspiring and more amazing the more you understand exactly what's going on here. All right, first, let's step back. This is as we look at this from the end, 6 sides, flat termination on the top. It can only really be one thing. It could be apatite, but it's not because of the multicolors here. It is a beryl crystal. Now, I use the word beryl crystal versus anything else because it has, let me backlight this if you can't see them well, 3 different color zones, and you may have to iris with me on that if it helps. 3 different color zones at the top of this crystal, and you have goshenite below it. So let me try a different light here, because this is a piece that is really unique. It is from the Orongo Mountains, and the material that is found in Orongo that is, or thought to be usually tourmaline, is actually a specific kind of tourmaline. And it is called phoitite. Now, phoitite is unique because, for one, it was named in honor of Franklin Foyt. He was a Washington State University mineralogist, so he was in the U.S. It was first published and basically discovered as a different type tourmaline in 1993. What makes it so different, and what we're looking at as far as the tourmaline goes, so we'll look at the beryl again. Here is the quartz. So let's look at the quartz and look at how these crystals penetrate the quartz crystals. Look at all around. Now, what I'm going to show you is actually most impressive right here. Look at these 2 groupings. This is your phoitite. All these black crystals that you see, many people would just put schorl. It is not schorl. This is for every, and it's been examined at every level, a type of tourmaline that, when found in Orongo, it is nothing else but phoitite. Very rarely is it actually a schorl. And are we in all the way? Okay. I'm going to show you, but look closely. Look at all these little black crystals and the positions of them. Some are just individually floating almost, or attached precariously. Look at this. Look at that one right there. If you took a toothbrush to clean this piece, you would destroy it. If you put it in the ultrasonic, you would destroy it. Believe me, I clean specimens with ultrasonic. I clean specimens with toothbrush. I know when not to, and that is important. Look closely at a specimen before you take a cleaning tool to it. You would have completely damaged and ruined this piece. Now, so we're looking at three different minerals here. We're talking about quartz. We're talking about beryl, which is in the form of goshenite. So all these other crystals, goshenite or aqua, some are bicolored. Look at this one. Look at how intense. Look at this. As I turn to different angles, then you can see different crystals pop up. Look at the well-defined quartz crystal there. And then look at the phoitite as an inclusion in that quartz crystal. Look at the multi-directional. The thing that's nice about this piece is I was holding it, studying it. Every place I held it, I was safe in not damaging the phoitite if you just hold it from the end. So it's actually safe to look at it. Look at how many different ways this can display for aesthetics. So we had it, see here on the ends. Now, this is also a good angle. I can actually see the different colors of this beryl crystal. So this actually goes from goshenite, which is clear beryl. There's actually then aquamarine color. And then at the cap, it is wonderful yellow beryl or golden beryl, making it really cool as a tri-color specimen. All right, so as we keep looking at this, you see all these other crystals that are beryl, interspersed with the phoitite. Phoitite, why it is given a different name? Okay, so you've heard of people talk about titanium tourmaline. Well, a lot of tourmaline has titanium. I hate to ruin the pitch of others that you hear about something having tourmaline having titanium in it and being something amazing and fantastic. That's not a big deal. Okay? Lots of tourmalines have titanium in them. And tourmaline is such a complicated formula that unless you did an expensive mass spectrometer type of analysis, you wouldn't really know whether a tourmaline had titanium or not. Okay, so you can generalize it, but yeah. There is two elements at the beginning of a chemical formula for tourmaline. I'm going to try to keep this really, really simple. They are usually filled with a atom. Remember, we're talking about one molecule of tourmaline. So an atom of either calcium, sodium, potassium, or lead. They are usually take the two first positions in the chemical formula. And what makes phoitite so unique is it's referred to as a vacancy dominant member of the tourmaline group. Vacancy dominant. What that refers to is instead of it having one of those four different elements in its very beginning chemical formula, there is nothing there. It is vacant. So it is a vacant dominant. So instead of it being one, a choice of one of those other elements, which could make it an elbaite, a lidocotite, some other different tourmalines, there's nothing there. It's a vacant position. That is unique in the mineral world. And that is why phoitite is recognized as only since 1993, as a different form of tourmaline. Now, let's go in close on this for a moment, because that is where the stunning, let me get as much light on this, phoitite is. And let me clean this for a moment. Sorry about that. You're seeing something that no one else viewing has probably ever actually seen as defined as foytite. You might have seen it in other specimens, but it might be listed just as shoral, but it's not. Anything coming from Orongo, look at those. Isn't that crazy? So look at not just the foytite, but look at the penetration of all the other crystals interspersed among each other, including the beryl and the quartz. And then look at these individual crystals that just are randomly growing. Let me see here. Oh, that is stunning. I'm going to see if I can put the 60 power on anything here. Let me turn off. I have a light on here. Yeah, let me turn off the black light, turn on. Okay. And let me see. Let me clean this other lens for a moment. This was, oh, you know what? This is what I used. So I'm going to try something here with you, Chuck, that I've not used with anyone else. So you get to be the first. Okay. Let's shoot right through this mic. See if you can shoot through this microscope. Right through here. This is just a test. And hold on, let me pull this out. I just want to see if it will. If you can, oh, it does. I can see it. Let me push this in. I need more light though. And this is basically a portable microscope. So this is, I wanted to do this earlier. I don't know where to get the light that I need. So it's experimental with all of you. So that's what's fun about the show is we get to try these things. So it would work. I need a different light source. So we'll try that at another point. But let me just do one more thing here. If you can follow me for a moment. And let me get some backlighting right here. And if you can, there we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Really amazing. That is one of those single crystals. Hold on, let me angle this out just a wee bit. Okay. Wow. Only right here in this show. Look at that. With Asif and Chuck bringing you in the Gem Collector Show a microscopic shot that you will not find that I know of in any other show, podcast, or otherwise. Look at that. Look at how it bridges across to that other crystal. Let's look in another area. This is phenomenal, being able to show you foytite. And foytite is found in larger type of crystals. Hold on one second. But it is most commonly found, like you're seeing it now, in these small, look at these microcrystals down here, areas in a spray or group. And hold on, let's see, where am I missing the light at? Look at the beryl crystals even. Oh, here, look at these. I just saw single ones up there. Look at that. This is like no other specimen you will see. Oh, there's a good view of the color in that beryl crystal. So yeah, this is a good shot to give you the cap view of that long crystal of beryl. Look at all the different type of penetrations. And then look at this crystal has foytite within it. And then look at that spray right underneath it, right down there. Wow. This is a phenomenal specimen. This is one of those type specimens that you would see on the cover of a magazine, and they would have an area of it blown up. Hold on, I want to show one more thing. Oops, sorry about that. And then we'll move on, but this is with the microscope and the TV fun for me because I have never done this before. So it's kind of new and educational for both of us in trying to bring you views that no one else will. All right, see if you can focus through that. Okay, yeah. Look at that. There you get to see the inclusion. Look at that one inclusion, that tiny little crystal penetrating that other one. Now we're looking at about, I think it's about 90 X magnification. A normal loop is 10 power, so we're shooting way beyond that. Look at that. Look at that crystal. Oh, here's the other thing about it. It is found in an indigo color, often black also, and there is indigo, purple ones here. If you look hard enough, you will find them. And there is, wait, I tried to remember an area that was, hold on, I committed to memory, and you can see how crummy that was, an area of where it had the blue crystals. Look at all this. This is such a complicated piece. Look at the crystals way down in there of the foytite. That is simply stunning. This is one of those pieces you can look at for hours. Well, okay, one more view up here, and then we'll go. But right up in here, I want to see it. Foytite, vacancy dominant type of tourmaline, meaning all the elements. It doesn't have all the elements it's supposed to. It's missing some. So sometimes you get a different name tourmaline because it has, like chrome tourmaline, because it'll have chrome, giving you those amazing colors. Other times, because it doesn't have an element in a particular place, it gets a new name. And in this case, it's foytite. Well, I'll go. I could explore this all day. But all right, let's look at this in general. You can keep it in close like that. Look at. Oh, let me get a pointer. Here we go. I just saw a bicolor. Look at this bicolor one right back in here. Look at that bicolor barrel just sitting back there. There are so many neat surprises in this piece. Look at this crystal filled with other crystals. There's so many penetration crystals where, one juts into another of all three different minerals. Look at this. Look at this. Quartz crystal. Is it sticking out or growing into or growing from the barrel? Look at that well-defined quartz. When you start looking at these and looking at the inclusions within them, this is many hours of fun. Okay, so I have a great opportunity price-wise on this piece. I have, without a doubt, if this was put up in an auction situation, the amount of money it would bring would be phenomenal. I've seen unusual pieces like this. This has, look at the cap on that. You can see perfectly right there, the three colors. You see the bluish green. Of course, here's the goshenite white, the bluish green, and the yellow cap right there. But look at this angle, because I don't see that quartz crystal. If I turn it a little bit like this, I can see that quartz crystal jutting out. Turn it more, you can see the, almost looks like a twinned crystal. Look at that angle. We can tip it that way. Wow. Okay, that's a cover of a magazine shot right there. I mean, that is just stunning. That is stunning right there. Right there. Shows the cap, shows the quartz, shows the barrel. But how many other ways can you turn it? I have this priced at a bargain. At a bargain. This is, for me, this is the kind of specimen that really gets me excited. Price on this, it's only $228. Only $228. That is a stunning value. Okay, now, this is another type of specimen I love. Item number 1251-825. 1251-825. Look at this. You know how I love beautiful azurite and malachite. This particular specimen is a jewel. It has, look at the botryoidal malachite. the botryoidal malachite. Look at these azurite crystals. So if you want to know what azurite crystal looks like before it's engulfed by malachite, you can see actually there may be some azurites that are being partially pseudomorphed in this. I haven't looked at it that close for that, but I do see some stunning individual. Look at that azurite crystal down in there. Well formed botryoidal masses of malachite. And look at this. Okay, as I spin this just on this one angle like this, look at the colors. Look at how aesthetically attractive that is. Now, let's turn it over. Look at, is it this the back? It could be the front. Look at the malachites. Look at these little pockets of incredible azurite crystals. This is a, look at these lined along there. And when you start like looking at that one azurite, if you looked at that really closely, look at that. That's beautiful. I mean, and I chose the backside. Look at this, so we can pick anyway. Look at that. I see. Look at the clarity to some of those azurites. Wow. Wow. The malachites. Look at that color. That's the good stuff. All right. That's the good stuff, and it's priced, yeah. Okay, so here it is in my hand, so you get to see the size of it. So that's like a small cabinet specimen. That is remarkable, and I'm offering that for only a fraction of what it would sell for. How's about $68 sound? $68 on that guy. Excellent opportunity. All right, let me keep going here. I am way behind. How about item 125, 2125. 125, 2125. And I tell you what, this is a special aqua. You don't? Okay. So 125, 2125. Did you? Okay. So let me leave that right behind as I talk about this one, and you can get the info off of it. All right, so check this out. Here's a stunning, I call this Lucky Sevens. Look at the weight, 77.77 carat. I weighed it 3 times, and it came over there. So I named it Lucky Sevens. And so what does that mean? Well, it can only mean one thing. I wanted to be able to get the price into an auspicious number, but the best I could do on this guy is $98. It should be well, $200, $300. $98 on this. All right, now here you can call something a floater when you don't see any attachment point on the crystal where it would have been attached to matrix or to the wall of a pocket or cavity. This, you can see, it is the complete termination. If you catch the light on it, you see the light glinting off of it, so you can tell that is the end of the crystal. It's not a break. You can see it with the shoral tourmaline growths in there. That is the end of the crystal. When you look at the other end of it and catch the light across it, you see the shimmer across at the same time. It is, again, even though it's not like a crystal flat type of termination, it is a termination, the complete end of it, and not having been broken off of anything. This is beautiful. So it's a floater. It floated in the pocket wherever it was and grew on its own. Now, here is the other thing. Oh, I'm sorry if my hand was in the way of the description. So albite feldspar is the white material on the outside. And so this stands up on its own. It self-displays wonderfully. And then let's backlight it. And you can see, look at that classic natural color with the tint of green and the translucency to it. I'm not even sure. It could be really a lot cleaner, but I can't tell because of all the feldspar on the outside, which is kind of neat, but I may be giving away, which I already am, a stunning piece of aqua. Oops, sorry about that. Did you get all the info there? Get the Lucky Sevens in there. Yeah, so for only $98, look at the size of this. That is a stunning display specimen because all the crystals around it, it's just a really, really attractive piece, especially for only $98. So when you look at something like that, you're talking about something at 77 carats, what, a little over, a buck a carat. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. Okay, let me keep moving. I am going to show you now another epidote. Item number 1190-724. 1190-724. This is a gorgeous specimen. Look at this. Now, here is a classic epidote from Morocco. And it is stunning because it has quartz, beautiful quartz crystals. Look at them all. Then, when you look at the epidote and you look at it closely, you can see how radial a lot of the crystals look and the way they have grown and formed. Look at the size, look at the clarity, look at the wonderful intergrown quartz crystals, and always look for the unknown sphene crystal that could be anywhere in a specimen like this. You just have to maybe hunt it down and find it, but it can be multiple colors and blend in quite well. This is just remarkable, though, for the quartz and the epidote together. Oftentimes, you often see epidote as an inclusion in quartz, as a needle type inclusion. This case, I don't really see where it's included in much of the quartz, but it's just all grown as wonderfully, beautifully formed, separate. Look at these. Look at that crystal, epidote crystal and quartz together. Look at this one, showing the formation display. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, and the price, I have this one on sale. This is only $48. $48. Let's sell some goods here, folks. Now, I have, so many. Okay. Let me go through because I was going to do a peridot lesson, but I think I'm going to run out of time. Let me show you item number 124-1725. 124-1725. What I'm getting ready to show you is a crystal I featured before. It is a stunning crystal, and I want to sell it, but it really needs to go to a home that can really appreciate it. This is an extremely rare and old piece, and it is crocoite from Dundas, Tasmania. Let me put this up. I'll be right back. Okay, now, this is a rare collector crystal. This is from circa around 1976. I have had this, and this is a lead chromium oxide. And the old crystals, this is from the Adelaide mine, and the old crystals, there was a way you could tell that it was from way long ago. For one thing, the long individual piece is rare, really rare to find. You can get the clusters where you have the small needle clusters of them all intergrown, but single long ones like this are rare. In the top, the etching, it creates a little hollow area, and this is well known to the Tasmanian crocoites for having that unusual type of etching in the top of the crystal. And so when I was reading that, and I said, well, I wonder if this does. And I looked, and sure enough, it did. So it has everything going for it that you want. It is the very proper, beautiful color. You see that metallic type of luster. And that's a stunning large size. You can see how old it is in the Perky box. I have had that a long time. I have loved that crystal, and so it was always been a great part of my collection. And I'm going to offer this now at a sale price. Do you have the price I had that at before, Austin? $388. I offered that before, and that was about if you go and try to see any similar ones, that is probably a third to a fourth of what crystals like this would go for, that have all the right things about them and can be dated back to that period of time when the best crystals were discovered and found. Oh, I will even show you this. That's right. Here we go. I remember having bought this. That's my writing. 1976. I bet you weren't even born then, Chuck.
That's the year I was born.
That's the year you were born? Yeah. Okay. So I was buying crocoite when the year Chuck was born. $15. Think about it. In 1976, I was working, had just gotten, I worked up to the rock shop about around that time. I started working at the rock shop in 1973, 74. So yeah, I would have been working there, and because I remember buying it there. I just had to remember if I worked there. I was paid $1.75 an hour. I remember exactly how much they paid me, $1.75 an hour. So think about it. I worked basically an entire day. So now if you translate that to, a day's wages and what you would spend for something, I couldn't afford to spend a day's wages on a crystal specimen now, kind of thing. So when I was 15 years old then, and I fell in love with that crystal. So at 15, when kids are spending their money on other things, I'm buying a crocoite. Yeah. That's why I was called a nerd. Okay, so it is absolutely worth the $388. I'm going to make it only $278. $278. And most likely, very likely, and completely actually, that I think about it, if it, no interest in that, that will be the lowest price I will offer it at. So, it just has great history to me. And look at that. It has all the bells and whistles you want for a specimen like that. Okay, let me get going here because I'm limited with the time, but there is lots of things I have brought. Oh, yes. Okay, let's go through these real quick. Here we go. I have 3 groups of tourmaline crystals. I have not offered any of these in a long, long time. So let's go through real quickly and look at them. Item 1252, 225. 1252, 225. And look at these. Look at these. I am offering an opportunity on tourmaline crystals, and these are fantastic for use in jewelry. Look at this. Look at the bicolor nature. They're also great specimens for educational purposes. So you can see, look at that natural, you can see it's still striated. So that's the way the crystal grew. Look at the termination. That is a fantastic termination. But look at it. It's got the pink and the green. This is paprock material. Paprock, well known for incredible, incredible pink tourmalines. That happens to be pink and green. These I picked for this parcel because of the unique termination. Look at the termination, the end of that one. That is really cool. Another beautiful bicolor. And then this one, again, I picked this one for its unique bicolor nature. And then the way it has formed, you can see it has multiple colors. Look at that. And a couple of crystals grown together. So bicolor, 3 neat pieces there, and a, let's see, price opportunity. Yep. This is what all of you are going to like on these is my, the price. All 3 of those crystals, $38. Only $38. Okay. Next, item number 1252, 425. 1252, 425. And let me show you this batch. I have another batch. These are paprock, wonderful opportunity. Look at these. 3, 4 wonderful crystals, beautiful terminations. And these are ones that you can make jewelry with, make pendants with very easily. Look at that. And wire wrap. Look at that. Look at the clarity to that. Look at that termination. That is a really different, more complicated terminations. But the Paprock tourmalines often will have that. Look at that. Those kind of terminations. So look at the quality of these. By the way, you see the white on the side of that? That's some just some feldspar that sticks on this. You can, and I did it, you can take a flat head little tiny micro screwdriver or a dental pick or all kinds of things, and it'll actually come off. And it, as long as it's look at that. That looks like one of the Bellum knives. So you can actually scrape and pick off the white on there while you're watching TV and have nothing else to do. And you can, it's crystal prep. They do it. Oh, look at that. Look at the bicolor nature to the inside of that one. Wow. A little green, it'd be a watermelon. Okay, so price on this parcel, $28. Wow, only $28 for those. That's a excellent value. And now, one more. Item number 1252, 325. 1252, 325. Let's see here what we have. I am going to, if I can open these up quick enough. All right, let's see what we have here. We have a parcel with five crystals in this parcel. And let me remove these so we don't get confused. There's a total weight of very similar to the other parcel I just showed that had the 4 crystals. So this is a parcel of 5. For other parcel was parcel of 3 that was $38, but had the big bicolor green one. Look at these. Look at the clarity. Look at the clarity of that. That is considered facet grade. Absolutely. Then look at the terminations. These are really nice and wonderful to use in jewelry. Look at that. That you could facet easily if desired. The termination also, again, compared to a lot of the tourmaline that we see, these are unique. Look at that. And look at the clarity. That's almost a little bit violet there. And then it has that very nice, well-defined termination. Look at the clarity. And then the termination on that. Look at the bicolor. Look at the center. That's almost a tricolor. You could take a saw and make some slices out of that and or have fun just enjoying it left as it is, because you can see it even from here, the different colors to it. So all 5 of those crystals in this parcel must be a deal today. Shawn's a deal maker. $28. $28. Okay, now, here we have, in celebration of March, item 122-8324. 122-8324, in celebration for the month of March. Look at the colors together. I love it. Look at Mother Nature. Mother Nature. And have aquas. Aquas being the birthstone for the month of March. And this parcel is exceptional. Look at the round stones that you don't often see because of the material doesn't lend itself. Look at the clarity to that one. A marquee. Look at the blue. What? That stone alone. I remember checking that. I actually had to check that to make sure it was aqua. And I put it in the parcel anyway. Should have really left it out. That's like close to a Santa Maria type of color tone. Beautiful, beautiful parcel of aqua. And guess what? I have them sale priced because I'm kind of nuts, because I should not price them like this. Okay, sale price, let's do it, $48 for all of them. $48. That should be out of here, gone, sold type of thing really quickly. Don't have another one like it, but that is my celebration for the month of March. Let me show you item number 1252, 825. 1252, 825. We're not going to take these out of the parcel. Don't need to. They show best in the gem tube. Let me just knock that one down a little bit. There we go. Look at that. I knew it would do that. Look at, those are Burma rubies. They actually are much more red, I see in person. And Chuck can probably agree. Compared to what the way I see them now, it's kind of a pinkish purple. Aren't they red? They're straight up red. Yeah. Okay. So these rubies in person are straight up Burma red. That's why I call them Burma. The greens, that's close to the actual color of the green. And covers pretty well. The green sapphires, most commonly, you're going to find them from Australia. I bought these in 1992, actually in Kanchanaburi, Thailand. You know, where the bridge over the River Kwai is. I walked over the bridge over the River Kwai. It's nothing quite like the one you see in the movie, which is much more dramatic. But the one that I did walk over, when I walked over, it was kind of surreal. It was a rebuilt bridge because the first one they did blow up. This one was only pockmarked with strafed a couple of times, so that was kind of neat. But it's still regularly used. And when I was walking across the bridge, it was surreal because I looked down, and in the river there was a mahout and his elephant, and he was washing his elephant. It was like, wow, a step back in time kind of thing. I won't forget that. As I walk across the bridge, it's like, this is a really cool moment. So yeah, all right. I am going to show you something next. It is, pardon? Oh, yeah, thank you. Price on this, that would help. How about this? All that you see, $48. I bought them in Kanchanaburi in 1992. After my divorce, I only worked 8 months that year and traveled the world and went opal mining, went gem mining, went a lot of gem centers around the world. And Kanchanaburi, I hung out there for a while. I really enjoyed it there. And I knew a British mineral dealer who also took care of the British POW. There were a lot of prisoner of war building the Burma Railway that they used for basically slave labor. And a lot of people died from, the Allies died during World War II. So there's a British museum, a British memorial cemetery there. And he was actually in charge of the cemetery, but he's also a gem dealer. And so anyway, great story. He set us up with all these different dealers. We bought a lot of different gemstones. And I remember picking these out in 1992. I was going to do something with them. Never did. I'm offering now all of you guys an opportunity to do something with them or just enjoy them like I have. This next item is something I have never done before. It's item 1252, 625. It is... let me just show you. It is like nothing I have done before, and that is offer a collectible item from a very famous, well-known mineral dealer. And this is, you can tell by the way it was packaged and boxed, this is an amazing specimen, and I thought it to be an excellent value. Look at this. This is Arizona cerussite, all these little crystals on here. This is an ex-George Loud piece. George Loud has passed away, but he was an amazing, amazing collector of over 9,000 different mineral specimens, and all from miniatures to the bigger ones. And, you know, collected and upgraded his collection all the time. And this was one of his. Now, I am intentionally holding off on showing you a particular side. And you know me, it's all about the parsley on the plate. Let me show you. I am not including my ownership as part of the trail of provenance of ownership. Now, I've told you before how important that is in mineral specimens like it is in antiques. Who previously owned it. This has 3 records of ownership. And so this, let's see if that's in the order. As you can see, not only does it have great information, beautiful display card, but all the bells and whistles. So a gift from Joyce Ronick of Falls Church, the Lesnicks of Tucson. All these people are well-known mineral dealers. So Let's see, X the Lesnick. So let's start off here. Here's the first X collection of Richard Ronick. And this is, so you can see, a gift from Joyce Ronick, who would have been his wife. So it was given to a gift to the Lesnicks. Then it goes from the Lesnicks to George Loud and Joyce Ronick. Here is the 3 ownerships from going back to a period of time when the 79 mine, now I've offered pieces from the 79 mine before, usually some copper-based pieces. So it is a well-known mine. You can look it up and find out so much more. Now, these items are real important to always keep with it. Also, with it comes an additional information sheet all about the specimen, and then about the George Loud collection, and talks about him and how influential he was and his collections. So that is part of the provenance. That is part of this piece. Now, as we look at this closer, let me show you, as we come in close, there's some other minerals on here, actually a few that are not mentioned, and the black would be one of them. It's probably a manganese maybe mineral or an iron ore type, but look at, all right, you can see some of the look at these crystals of cerussite, these larger ones. Then all of this is cerussite. Cerussite is the lead carbonate. Now, it is also then with malachite. Look at all the different forms of malachite with these beautiful little cerussite crystals growing amongst the unique crystallization in the malachite that is not normally seen. But what I get around to as we come out from the specimen just a little bit is this side. Look at that. This is gem grade chrysocolla. And the other important things, here are the number. This is what they do. They put that little white out, I guess, or whatever it is, type material, so they can write on the specimen. It's also removable if needed. You have probably manganese oxide little dendrites here, but this chrysocolla vein is stunning. I wonder, you could slice it, but you would never want to slice up a specimen like this, but you could, and it would be phenomenal. It would be phenomenal. Look at this gem. So that band of chrysocolla looks like it goes all the way through the stone. And as we come around to the other side here, yeah, so here's that chrysocolla band. Chrysocolla turning, can be green. You see the green and the blue together running across there. I tested it along the way, hoping there might be some gem silica on it, but I don't think people like George Loud would have missed that as far as in the description. So the greens and the blues in person are way sharper than what you're seeing them. They're colors that are very difficult to shoot. You can see incredible. Look at the glassiness of the chrysocolla, and that's not been sprayed or have anything on it. And then on this side, you have the stunning view of, if you display it like that, that's a beautiful display angle just like that. And this hasn't been sawed or anything, but somehow you have to get that in there, which is phenomenal. Or just rotate it around every now and again. I always wanted to own a famous person, a famous collector's specimen, and that's what I have in this one. It's also one that I was able to obtain at what I thought was a very reasonable price for this kind of provenance in a specimen. I'm offering this at basically, though, my cost. It was just something I wanted to own for a while. So only, that's why I didn't put in there, as far as part of my collection. It wasn't in it long enough for me to consider it my collection, but I have enjoyed it. And again, along with everything else, is something I need to sell. Price on this is costing it out only $198. Look at this. Look at that. So it's a small to medium size, cabinet size specimen, and has all the bells and whistles. all the bells and whistles. So one lucky person gets a shot at it, and good luck, because that, with that kind of providence, that's when you're buying specimens that can go up in value. I mean, you know, that kind of providence alone. You know, there's only so many specimens, a total of only 9,000, but not all of them available for sale. So take advantage of it if you want one. And look and read about George Loud himself. He's an amazing collector. Item 1242 225. 1242 225. Now, last week, that Spessartine and Smoky Quartz piece sold. Let's see if anyone wants this incredible piece right here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those. Talk about mandarin. Now that is some beautiful mandarins. Tucked. Look at how they're tucked away with green muscovite. Now let me show you that. That is really unique. The green muscovites, and I don't know if you can see the green on your screen. There we go. Look at that. You can see the green, and you see the layering right there. That tells you it's a phyllosilicate, meaning a type of mica. Look at the beautiful smoky quartz. Look at the smoky quartz. Look at how clean, and look at the termination. It is beautiful. And then look at the crystals of the microcline feldspar. Look at that. Look at that. That's a perfect termination on that. And then with those spessartines tucked away, this is a fantastic specimen. I see a couple little other ones there as well. Magnificent piece. Magnificent piece. It's a little miniature display piece. And I have this on sale and going to offer that for only $118. Go look up what even something like that is bringing. Aesthetically, that is gorgeous. Put that in an auction. If I did those auctions, it would run up to $300 to $400. Those, the Wushan material, are really big collector quality stuff that everybody loves. Item number 1252 525. 1252 525. Now, let's see. There's the aquas. I'm going to have a big mess to clean up. All right, look at this. It's the peridot, and not just any old peridot. You'll see, if you can recognize the difference in color compared to other peridots you may see, and then you'll recognize why, because of course it's Burmese peridot. So look at this peridot. I mean, I know it's included, but in the world of peridot, it's clean enough to have been faceted. Now this is old material. These are fancy cuts. Look at that half moon, 2 half moons, and you see how little yellow that they have. These are a different, unique color. It's got the little darker chromite specks that is commonly found in peridot. And this is just old material, Burma material. And here is a Burmese crystal facet grade. Let me just hold this up here for a moment in the light, if you'll follow me, Chuck. And look at that. Crystals of peridot are extremely rare, most commonly only coming from Pakistan. So for this to be a Burma, as close to a crystal as you can really expect, because like the Arizona peridots, the biggest Arizona production in the world is from Arizona. Those are, they look like fire opals. They're found in kind of a rhyolite type and non-crystalline. They're just like nuggets, like turquoise nuggets, except peridot. So completely different formation. These this is this whole parcel, this opportunity for you. And here is how you check if you have real peridot. Ready, set, let's see. Let's see what happens. There we go. See that? See that attraction? See that? And that big one. See the drag? It drags. There. Iron. Iron. It is iron. And it is the amount of iron is what causes the different colors. The different colors. So let me quickly show you something. And to not get anything confused, this is, I'm going to take these out for a moment. So they're available for sale. Let's put the price up, only $58. $58 on that whole parcel. Okay, yep. Oh, I thought you took it. Never mind. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. Okay. I was getting ahead of myself. Here we go. Go ahead and get the screenshot of those. And let me get that out of the way. Did you get it? Okay. So now here I only didn't really have time to do it, but it had to be as part of the presentation of that peridot parcel. You get another little educational lesson here real quickly. Let me show you. Here's another parcel I had of peridot. If I said to you, pick the peridot that's not a peridot, would you be able to do it? Would you be able to do it? Look at, see the different colors, how they can get more yellow. You see the little black specks in them. Well, there's one way, and I just showed you. Let's show you. Okay, so those are magnetic. We'll move those out of the way. Those are magnetic. Oh, that's magnetic. Yep, those are magnetic. Chasing me. Magnetic, 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 magnetic. What? Oh, get away. Nothing. 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 This was an unbelievable, one of the best fake peridots I've ever seen as far as a parcel. And this is how they get away with it. They'll put it in with a parcel. Mix it in with a bunch of other stuff and just slide it through. Now, I don't know if we can get in close enough to be able to see it, but upon closer inspection, not only was it not magnetic, but the color was right on. The cut was crummy, just right on like a native cut. Let me see. If under higher magnification, there is the wavy lines, like, oh, you can see them in that, like you would see in moldavite. And why in moldavite? Well, because it's a type of glass. Same thing. That's what this is. There's actually bubbles under magnification. And you can, did you just see the waviness? Yeah. Yep, I just did too. Same time. And the waviness of glass. So you'll see these waves in it. Same kind of thing that you, how you determine. There you go. There you go. Right there. Right there. You can see the waves in that stone. So much is learned in this show that you guys get really the benefit of it. All right, look at that. Look at that. Other than that, look, it's a peridot. But it didn't get past me. It didn't get past me because I check, double check, and I have the high-end equipment, but seldom do I have to ever step up to use it because I can do quick things like I just showed you. Okay, I have a few extra minutes here. Let me. Okay, we're about. Oh, I see that now. I didn't realize the time. Okay, let me have one more moment because I had a request for something like this. Let's look at item 1177-524. 1177-524. I had a request for some cutting rough, and boy, nothing came to mind better than a piece of high quality lapis that I am privy to be lucky enough to have some from way long ago. Look at this. Look at this. This is really high quality material all the way through. It's from one of the seams, so you can see a nice seam material. You're going to get that beautiful, beautiful blue. Amazing. That is the good stuff. Anyway, price on that, I'm going to offer that sale price, believe it or not, for only, that's high-end gem quality, $68. That is a special, special price. Okay, there was much in front of me, as always, and let me just have one more moment. And this item, I'm going to sale price. It's $12,317.24. Nope, instead of that, hold on. Let's finish up. You know how quickly I go through these. I have the last of the animals. It won't take but a moment. Let's do them, because a lot of you bought the ones I showed last week. Item number 124.6225. 124.6225. I'll give you the price of that. Look at this. Look at this. These are really unusual ones. This is a penguin with incredible chevron formations in it. Price on it, $32. Everything, $32. Next, item number 124.7425. 124.7425. Look at this cat. Look at this cat. Beautiful, beautiful. Again, chevron amethyst, $32. Next, I have two of them. So if one sells, there's a quantity of two. There's both of them to show you that. I have next item 124.7225. A butterfly left. Look at that. Look at that. Even the openings there. And again, using some really nice banded or chevron amethyst that you see there, $32. We only have two left. Item number 124.7525. Oh wait, yep, 124.7525. And look at this. Oh, beautiful cat. Look at that. And look at the way they carved it. Look at the tiger eye. That is the really good stuff in tiger eye, obviously. And I love the way, I don't know how they did that. They got the nose to come out like that. But boy, look at that when you turn that. $32. And the last item of the show, item 124, let me see. Yep. So is this 124? Okay, so I have two of them. Two of them also. And it's just luck of the draw, but either one you can't go wrong. Here's the other one. So whoever, it's just luck of the draw. Whoever, if you get a cat, there's a quantity of two, you get one or the other. And but you can't go wrong with either one. Beautiful. Only $32. Okay, that'll do it. I'll be right back with trivia. I had intended to get to the labradorite, which I have a new sale price on behind me, and some other items, but of course I always run out of time. I could just do show and go, but there was too many new items. So we're going to do show and go soon, where I do a big sale, for me, relative, and where, since you will have seen most of the items already, I'm not going to talk about the information about them. I'm just going to show and go. We hadn't done it in a long time. Austin's familiar with what I've done before when we do that. And I think we're getting ready to get to that point. I have magnificent pieces going back to December 12th, the live show. And some left over from that, some left over from the New Year's Day show. And some just beautiful stuff. And I think what I did, I hate to use this term, flooded the zone with so much cool stuff that it saturated everybody's pocketbook, I think. And so as your pocketbook gets restored, there'll be an opportunity along with the sale prices that hopefully you'll find a lot of items at amazing values and take advantage of them. And they will be at amazing values. Okay, so I have 3 questions for you for trivia. I'm going to try to put together a what am I for you. I've already gathered up a couple items that I have in the office, but I know you like that. But instead, we're going to do questions, which of course are important as well. So to refresh everybody, you can get a hold of me by Shawn at gems.com. That simple. Shawn at gems.com. That's how you can leave a comment. That's how you can leave answers to trivia. I noticed that they redid the website. So to find me now, you can, of course, you can just go to YouTube and type in gem collectors to get to this show. But for information on the me personally and 30 different other episodes of how it's done, where we do, Asif and I took a year every Friday to shoot an episode for you where I do everything from hand make a piece, including alloying the rose gold, handmade to FTC guidelines for something being truly handmade. You get to see that. It includes a spinning opal. Yeah, so check that out. Also, we do everything start to finish in carving a wax for a ring that I wore for a long, long time that Miss Barbara bought, a bicolor sapphire. I needed the money. She got a great deal, but she said I would have it back one day, so that's cool. Including meal grading, antique pieces, so much information there. I often say that if you watched every episode, I should give a certificate of completion of some type because there's so much knowledge there. Anthony uses it as a reference for when he does bench work because any type of project you would take to your hometown jeweler, I have done it. From sizing, showing you how to size platinum versus how the difference between that and sizing gold, the basic stuff, to flush setting, bezel setting, all that is covered. Check it out. Also, so to go to that, go to the site map, and then you'll go down a list. It'll be meet the hosts, I think, and you'll find Ask Shawn. I think it says, or me. Just click on me, go down until you find me, and then click on that. So I noticed it was different than what I had been telling you before. So that's the latest to be able to find me. But the simplest thing, just remember Shawn at gems.com. Okay, here we go. 3 questions. What mineral shown is a lead carbonate? It becomes important. Some of the basic minerals and the carbonates, remember, are all the minerals that end in CO3. So almost every metal element has a carbonate form, as in, rhodochrosite is a manganese carbonate. Siderite is an iron carbonate. So it's just FeCO3. Now, a lot of different other elements won't form a carbonate, like gold. There's no gold carbonate. That'd be cool if there was. But things like that. So it won't form with every element, but many, many elements, there's a carbonate form of it. So what is the lead carbonate that was shown? Question number 2. What makes phoitite tourmaline unique? Yep, that's probably the hardest question. Now, remember, regarding the trivia, you can watch the show as many times as you want. So when we get to the trivia part, that's when you can't, read the question, then go back and look at the show. That would be cheating, right? So we don't expect that. It's the honor system. So once you get to the trivia part, you have to use the knowledge that you gained from watching the show, and we hope to help you retain a little bit of it by doing the trivia so that you'll listen and kind of remember things better. I don't know. It's a fun way for me to give away expensive items and lose money. I did. I figured out how much, I do it because, I'm supposed to, how much I give away every year, the value I give away every year. And I've done it for 7.5 years. These are not 10-point stones that Gem Shopping was famous for giving away before at the beginning of a show. You wouldn't believe it. A little 10-point quartz stones and would light up the phones every time. Everyone loves something free. I'm the only one doing it still. I think Asif has caught on. I think Asif has caught on to free stuff, or at least I heard it. I didn't stay up and late enough to watch if he gave something away, but he certainly knows and believes in the idea of giveaway, trivia, whatever it takes to trigger a giveaway. So I give away cool stuff, and that's part of it to help. Now, you can leave a comment. Don't have to participate in trivia at all. Just leave a comment if you want, and you see how we go through them, and very educational. Miss Karen, send me your chicken night. I would love to clean some specimens and be involved. And you are very lucky to have a place that close to you to get to go to, that the mines are available for you to dig and have that much success. That's awesome. Question number 3. So remember, the question number 2 was what makes Foytite tourmaline unique? Now, I mean that unique to the tourmaline world, relative to tourmaline world. Number 3, what element affects aquamarine's color? Now that everyone should know. And for extra credit, if you want to tell me exactly the element and the valence combination of what happens, of where it happens to the green, then that would be cool as well. But basically, just what element, make that one easy for you. Okay, so that's it. I have to put away a lot of items I didn't get to show, but that's okay. Thankfully, I have the Raven to be able to clean and put away and make the beautiful backdrop that she does every time for me. So she'll clean those up, luckily. But I have all the little stuff I have to put back together and packaged and wrapped up. So, well, the same way you guys like to receive them when you get them and tell me how well they're packaged. And that makes me feel good. I'm glad. They should be. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you for your continued support of the show. I guess, I would say get in on the George Loud specimen if you want something that's truly a collector's piece and has all the provenance and paperwork to go with it and history. So coming from a very famous 79 mine in Arizona. So great item there. All right. Well, always hate this moment because I won't see you again for a week, but Asif has stuff to do and I have a mess to clean up. God bless you all. And listen, spring is close. I saw daffodils up here already. Daffodils already popping up here in Georgia. And there's some tree that's pink, big tree with pink buds already all over. And the little birds are chirping and singing. And spring is upon us. One last note. I did get to go into the woods this past week. And I was so sore because I just wasn't used to hiking up and around the mountains. I thought that I had, when Hurricane Helene came through and did so much damage and death in North Carolina, like I noticed on my power bill that they were foregoing late charges and whatnot, and due to Helene's effect. And I thought, well, I wasn't affected by it that much, but that's kind of cool. Okay. I walked up to the top of Coyote Hill because coyotes howl from the top of this mountain. There's 3 coyote dens that I have found. Believe me, coyotes are all around us. You just don't often see them unless you're up in the night or walking into the woods. The amount of trees that were blown down at the top of the hill, and it looked like a mini tornado had touched down because they were just huge. And I'm talking about 100 to 150-year-old trees. I counted the rings on one tree that was sawed down by my neighbors. I was upset when they built the house next to us. I got over it, but I had to write in Spanish. And after I saw it, I counted the rings. It was a 160-year-old tree. So that tree was a sapling at the end of the Civil War. And it was hard to imagine it being cut down. Well, the sense of loss. When I got to the top of the hill, the number of trees in that size, old growth forest are trees that have never been cut down. There's very little. There's only a small patch of what they call old growth original forest in Georgia, up near Suches. Other than that, everything has been logged off at least once in its lifetime, right? And the trees behind me had been logged off only once because the ones that were growing there were 100 to 160 plus years old. And so many of them were blown down. And I guess maybe they got older or weak, or maybe again, it just couldn't take the wind at the top of the hill. I was shocked. I was shocked. If I had a tractor, it would severely affect me being able to move around because there's so many blocking my. There's a point to all this in a minute. I'll get to it. Blocking my ability to access the areas I used to access. I can still get to where I know the gold is with an excavator. So that much is important. But when something terrible happens, because there's brokenhearted about that, but it led to something else. I had not been, remember, I had COVID, then long COVID. It'll be 5 years this May or June when I first got it, and suffered with it for a long time, but certainly feel almost recovered, unless I do something strange. So I hadn't been down there in a long period and back in the woods in all that period of time. So the woods change, things happen, environment happens, erosion happens. In a spot that I was very familiar with and had looked at the creek many times over and the area around it, and the top of the hill, I had, I think I told you the story about found 2 old grave sites. But that's not where the homestead was. I thought the homestead that I had found, I brought in items I found with my metal detector, remember? Was up there, but it wasn't. It didn't make sense for it to be up there when I was thinking about it because on all sides you have to walk down to get water. I found an old chimney. First, I found 1/2 of a broken brick, and it was like breadcrumbs. I followed where that brick was, and then I found a bigger brick, a whole brick. Now, in the old days, people were very proud of bricks. They would put their name and stamp in them when they would make them. So there were a lot of foundries. It was, bricks are still going way back in time, have been made for a long time. People resell bricks. I know people that actually have a business selling used bricks when they tear down or blow up buildings and whatnot. Those bricks get sold. There's also homemade bricks. You can homemade bricks, especially in Georgia with the amount of clay. And those wouldn't have a name or stamp on them, and they wouldn't hold together as well. They would erode more. I found that brick led to how they usually do. They usually do a stone base, and bricks, they're money. They're more expensive than stone. So the real old original chimneys are made out of just stone and mortar. They don't hold up. Bricks will hold. Bricks will last through time. Eventually they will crumble, but they'll stay in one spot, and that's what I found. It led me to a pile of bricks. The old original chimney, the fireplace. What does that mean? That means Shawn gets to get his fancy metal detector out, which is really fancy, a really nice one. I have no regrets getting the best. 20 years ago. There's no improvement in the technology over this metal detector I have now compared to then. It works really well. And now all I can think about is, well, once you locate the chimney, you can easily lay out the kind of the house in your mind. I get to use my metal detector across that whole area. And what do you always think? Remember, people didn't have a safe back then. There was no sentry safe you could put in your house or bolt to your floor or put in your wall. No. What was their safe? It truly was often a mayonnaise jar buried. In England, they're finding gold caches still regularly all the time. People would bury their wealth to keep it from the invading other hordes or people, robbers, whatever. Where would you keep it in a house? You wouldn't keep it out. There's not many places to hide in older homes. The chimney would often be the place. They would truly have the brick that was removable and the secret stash in there. At least that's the treasure hunter mind in me that wants to believe that All I need to go is find one little $1 gold piece. The ones they stamped out and made in Dahlonega out of Georgia gold. The $1 gold piece is one of the most expensive coins there is relative to the value of the gold in it. And even the poorest of people could have a $1 coin. So that is my hope. You know, of course, a treasure hunter, someone with gold fever like me, will always create something greater than what it usually turns out. Took me 4 or 5 years to find the gold that was actually in that creek. I knew it was there. Took me a long time, but I finally found it. Now I have to recover it. That's a different story. The chimney now, though, until I can get to the gold, that is my next treasure hunt. So wish me well. I'll be back with another story when I get to, because as soon as the weather and all, I'm getting and recover from the aches and pains of the hike back into the woods. But it led to the homestead discovery that I had been looking for also for a long time. So, yeah, my mind and machinations of amazing discoveries of a gold cache is what I'll be thinking of. So, all right. Look down to the ground, as Anthony says, eyes down, because that's where the good stuff is to be found. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you should look up in life and be positive. No, a rock hound is looking down at the ground. You wouldn't believe the number of cool things I found by looking down. All right, all y'all take care. Thank you so much again for supporting me and the show. Try to make purchases when you can. And other than that, I hope all of you have and continue to have a safe, wonderful spring because it's on the way. God bless. Take care. See you next Monday.